everybody, and welcome to the GamezAttack podcast. This is episode 39, called Indiana Jones and the Great Expansion. What an interesting show title. So welcome everybody. Woo, yeah.
Yes, enjoy your day.
Okay, yeah. That's a good start to the show. Welcome everybody. I am Mr. Mike. This is a show about video games and video game talk and video game industry talk and stuff that has happened in the past weeks, like Gamescom and a bunch of other stuff. Future stuff, like future games that are coming out this end of this week. I got a little game called Star Wars Outlaws coming out. And, of course, I top it all off with a big scoop, a big fluffy swirl scoop of Gamez Talk Newz to end the show. So, I always like to get into the stuff that I played through the past weeks and such. Games that I've, dabbled in, not dabbled in, stuff like that. And, well, why don't we kick off today with some of the games that I played in the past weeks before we get into talking about all the stuff that's been going on, especially at Gamescom. I watched the presentation at Gamescom, at least the day one stuff. I looked and read the news about all the other stuff from the other days. They did not have too much out there that was coming up, but in the beginning, the main day, the one that, Jeff Keighley was doing the hosting of and stuff and, trying to take control of, they had all of the announcements I needed to basically see and whatnot. And I know I looked throughout the games news throughout the week of Gamescom, and I didn't see really too much of anything other that really piqued my interest. Games coming out wise or expansions or whatever. I'm sure that there's stuff out there for everybody. I'm sure there's some things that people are going to say, well, Mr. Mike, I like that. And that was later in Gamescom week or whatever. And you know what? Hey, we all like different things. We all like to play different things. But Gamescom, it's just one of those, it's the end of the summer kind of feel to the games industry before we get into the holidays, the holiday season. They like to, pump out the last of whatever little news they can pump out, and then it's off to the races of selling the stuff, and pretty much you won't get anything really big in news unless if Nintendo announces the damn Switch 2 sometime. People are all like, they're going to announce it in September. No, they're going to announce it in October. Oh, they should do it at the end of this August. Nintendo's going to announce it after the holidays. I could tell anybody that. They're not going to announce it before this holiday season. They're going to announce it after the holidays, after January, maybe in the end of January, maybe in the during January. Or else they'll wait a little bit longer because maybe they want some New Year's sales going on for the Switch and stuff. They're not going to announce. And I love how people are all like, I know when they're going to announce it. We know when. No, you don't. Only Nintendo does. Only the executives and the people that run things at Nintendo know when they're going to announce their little second-gen console handheld hybrid. And they're going to probably, in my own personal experiences and knowledge and let's just say seeing how consoles been getting announced and put out for many, many, many years, going back to the original PS1 2 days and such like that, and how they are announced and released nowadays. And of course, given the, not announcements, but given the, what is it, like a speech or pep talk that Nintendo gave saying, hey, we don't want this console to be in the scalper's hands too much. We want it more fully available to the mass public. So not only can we sell more of these Switches, but we're getting them into the people's hands that are actually going to play and purchase a lot of our software from these consoles. So they're in the situation, and excuse me, I got to clean my glasses because I got something on, a little speck of hair or something, and it's annoying me. They're in the industry of, oh, we're going to try to sell as many of these as we can, sell as much software as we can at start. So they're waiting not just for a mass production, because they might be starting to produce these consoles at the end of this year. That's a given. The price starting in October, November, sometime before the holidays. And they're going to start mass producing this stuff. And then after the holidays, they're going to announce the next Switch and talk about why is it better than the first one. You know, the Switch 2, Super Switch, or whatever they're going to call this thing. You know, maybe it'll be Switch Plus. Who knows? What do you think they're going to call it? That's the biggest thing. I want to know, what kind of interesting name are they going to call it? Because remember, they had the Wii and then the Wii U, and then the Wii U tanked like a bag of stones in a pond. You know, it tanked pretty badly. Even when I went to see it at a mall before it was coming out, I got to handle it and play it at that time. That's when, which I was surprised they had the Wii U out at a Games. It was a GameStop at the mall in my area. And when I touched the tablet itself, I was like, wow, this thing feels so cheesy and cheap. And the tablet screen was kind of icky and stuff. And you know, I'm like, well, it still plays games like the Wii plays. It might be a little bit more powerful. Originally, I thought it was going to be really powerful because they were showing some really interesting demos and stuff on there. But it was basically what most of the news journalists out there were saying. Hey, they slapped two Wiis together to make the Wii U. That was the running joke, that the power of the Wii U was basically slapping two Wii systems together and getting the power of the Wii U, which I'm sure that's the case, because a lot of those games that were on the Wii U got ported to the Switch, and you know, they got up-resed and stuff. So yeah, I could totally see that. But the Switch saved Nintendo from that dark days of the Wii U. And now they just got to make that success happen again without the making people think, oh, this is just a Switch that's a little bit more powerful. No, this thing's gotta blow people out of the water, and it's gotta be backwards compatible. It's gonna make it so it's sellable to the main consumers, especially nowadays when all these other consoles are way overpriced. And I can assuredly say that to you, even though I bought one. I have a Series X in my house, and I had it since launch, but the PS5, this Xbox Series consoles and stuff, those are way overpriced nowadays. And, you know, inflation and the economy and stuff, people aren't willing to spend $500-$600 on these new consoles. And I will be talking a lot of shit about Microsoft and Xbox on this show today. So get ready, folks. Your Xbox fanboy, me, Mr. Mike, is going to talk some shit about some Xbox and Microsoft today. I'll have some good things to say, but I'll have a lot of bad things to say too, because them releasing these even more expensive consoles, talking about them releasing these new, more expensive consoles, is just not going to help them. And if I was them, instead of releasing new, more expensive hardware, you could take the hardware you have now. You know, you could pretty up some of them, make some different colored consoles, whatever, if you want to do that at the end. But, you know, make them a little cheaper. But nobody wants to do that. And that's what's hurting Sony and Microsoft in the end, because games to play and to put and play on their systems is getting more expensive. And the average consumer's like, well, I got a PS4, I got a Xbox One console. I already spent a ton of money on those. They were cheaper back in the day. They're cheaper now. I could still play these games, these so-called next-gen games, on these consoles. They got a big fan base. Why do I need these next-gen consoles for? Why am I spending another $500-$600 on these consoles? Why? See, I do it because I always like to get the latest, greatest thing. But, you know, coming into the future, it's going to be a little bit more me waiting and seeing basis, because shit, if I could still play games on my Series X console going forward, or on my well, I'm not saying the Switch. A Switch, I will get the next Switch, but I am going to wait until, because I still know here, and I don't know for sure, but I still hear that it's just going to be an LCD model going forward with the next gen Switch, and then they'll release eventually an OLED Switch down in the future. And I'm like, well, I don't want to buy the next Switch if it's going to be backwards compatible and stuff with the original Switch cartridges and stuff. That's going to be great and all, but if I'm really going to want a next-gen Switch, I'm going to wait for the OLED model so it looks better and stuff like that. And I'm willing to spend a little bit more money on an OLED model going down in the future than buying just the newest LCD model. And on top of that, I don't really play my Switch that much anymore. I've been playing mostly my PC and Xbox, and mainly ROG Ally here at my house. So for me, getting a new Switch right away or a next-gen console like a next-gen Xbox or something like that just doesn't seem likely, especially if, Microsoft in, 3 to 4 years. I think they were around three-ish years. We'll see. Maybe they'll jump the gun because they're itchy, but it's going to be bad for them if they announce a new console anytime between now and 3 years later or something, or Sony decides to put out that box that they keep saying this, or people keep saying they know that they're coming out with this PS5 Pro, and if that thing is going to be way more expensive than what their PlayStation 5s are, I think that's going to hurt them in the long run or in the short run, because people aren't going to spend that money on them. Maybe some diehards with extra flowing cash in their pockets, but beyond that, people are going to be like, our consoles can play these games. They look good enough. They play good enough. I'm just going to buy this software on the last-gen consoles, especially if you're spending $60, $70 on the software, on the games themselves, anyways, for your console. So I don't see any need for the next gens or anything yet. I think we're in a good sweet spot here, in a confusing sweet spot, but I think hardware is powerful enough. But tell the games industry that, tell the marketers, tell the hardware industry part, tell the software industry, oh no, we need more powerful systems. But yet you make games that play on the PCs, and PCs that have older hardware and graphics hardware that are way less than an Xbox Series console or PlayStation 5 or even PS4 and Xbox One consoles. We got people with graphics hardware on their PCs and stuff that play games that are way less than that, and they're still supported and they play just fine. So why can't we do that with consoles? Why is it that in a console, and I know they say, well, there's differences between consoles and PCs, but consoles are PCs, and why not just write the software to be like a PC, where the software can scale on the console that it's on, just like it does on a PC? I don't understand why they cannot do that, especially when the consoles are only made by the companies that make them and put them out, and they're not made by 20, 30 plus different PC manufacturers. Or if you're like me, you're a person like me, and you build your own PC, that software's got to be at least to spec that works with your custom built PC like I do. My Ramshack PC that I got here, that I do all my gaming and streaming and stuff on. So why can't they do that in the gaming industry? Why can't they do it in the gaming world? Or is it just because it's a bunch of fake fluff and they're trying to lock things down in the console industry so they can try to sell you one of us suckers out there to buy a next gen system when you don't really need one? And it's all business at the end. It's all about money. It's all that stuff. And it's, we all see, it's ever increasing. It's ever getting larger. And it's just making the industry look really stupid right now. And it makes the industry really weak. And when you hear them saying, well, we can't afford this, we got to fire thousands more people. We can't do this. This game can't come out. Oh, this game came out as a big success, but it didn't make the money we wanted it to. Maybe we're shooting our sights too far. You notice Nintendo ain't saying all that stuff, saying, oh, our game sales are great, but we're not making no money. Darn it. Oh, Nintendo not making any money. Oh, on all of our sales. So why are they able to do it, but why aren't Microsoft and Sony not doing it? Or is it because they're so stuck in their ways and in their ruts, and because they're them, that they just want to keep pushing and pushing it and trying to get these whiny little bitches out there, these so-called, what are they called? Enthusiasts? No, they're enthusiasts, but what are those people? I forgot their name. I forgot what they were called now, because influencers. There we go. These so-called influencers, which surprisingly people like to go to. See, you can call me an influencer or not. I don't give a shit. I don't want to influence anybody. I just say what I say and do what I do. I don't make money from any of this shit. Like I always say, I do the podcast because I want to. I do my videos because I want to. It's just because I love to talk and play video games and the industry, and I don't give a rat's ass on who cares or doesn't like my shit. I just do it for fun. I do it as a hobby that I'll take to the grave with me. I'm not one of these pussy boots that needs their clicks and needs your subscribes and stuff like that. Maybe eventually I might get a tip jar on my website or something, maybe down the road if people want to throw me a few bucks. Hey, go ahead. But I'm not pushing to make big and make tons of money. No, I'm the real me. I'm the real me. I'm not in the games industry. I am not a professional anything, but I talk like I'm a professional because I eat, breathe, and sleep video games. It's my medium. It's my entertainment. I love it so much that, if I like to talk about something and I want to promote something and, just play a game and show people, maybe somebody out there might like that stuff. And that's all I care about. I don't care about, how many people watched my show? How many people watched my streams? How many people watched my videos on YouTube? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It just matters if somebody picks it up, watches it, and goes, okay, he's playing a cool game. Let's see what he's doing. Oh, he's having fun with that, or this game sucks, whatever. And if they come away from that being entertained and enjoying it, hey, that's good enough for me. Now, back to the part where these companies think that these so-called influencers matter. They don't, but tell that to corporate America. Tell that to the corporate industry globally, because they're all being played, but yet they're not asking the regular consumers like you and me out there what we think, the people that actually spend the money on these games, not these influencers that get the product for free. They don't ask the average Joe, what do you feel about this game? What do you feel this game should be costing? No, they don't do that. And that's what's going to hurt them in the end. And people will tell you, different people will tell you, the games industry will survive. The games industry is in a shaky mess. I think what the games industry needs, and I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, I think it needs to be a big crash again. I think the games industry as a whole needs to reboot, go back to the simple basic things, making great games at a decent price for people. You don't have to make them dirt cheap, but, $40, $50 around there. And if you got games that you want to make more money off of, sell the DLC, sell your little knickknacks in the games. I don't really care. Some people say, I hate it when they sell all this extra shit in the games and stuff, and it just doesn't come with the game. I don't really give a shit. Let them sell some stuff. Let them make a little extra money on that. Let them sell some expansions and DLCs to make up that money and stuff. I don't care. But don't try to nickel and dime everybody and try to suck out, or try to suck out as much money from one game in your franchise and making a multiplayer game and all this other stuff and focusing on, we need more players. Let's do free to play. Let's do this. That's not going to work either. that clearly haven't been working for a lot of games out there. You see all these great big multiplayer advanced games out there, and you see them all flutter away or go down the toilet. So what the industry as a whole needs to come together again and think about is, why don't we make these games like we used to? They don't have to be the most graphically intense. They don't have to be 300 frames per second like I'm reading on Twitter and stuff, where some people are like, well, yeah, this game isn't even pushing 60 frames. I think it was the Indiana Jones the Indiana Jones game that's coming out. Some people were complaining that it was only 30 frames per second. I'm like, yeah, that's how the game developer made the game to be. It doesn't mean that 60 frames would do any better. That's just how they made the game to be. And then people get all upright, like, no, this game should be 60 frames per second or more, and it's going to be playing better on my PlayStation and not the Xbox, because it's also coming out on PlayStation, and people getting up in arms of that. And it's like, oh, you whiny little fucking babies. To me, I'm like, okay, I don't really care. As long as the game plays well, looks good, plays well, I don't give a care how many fucking frames per second it is. I don't care if it's in 4K or not. I don't care about any of that. As long as the game is decent, it plays well, and it looks decent, and it's not a pile of initial garbage like when I was playing the initial new stage game, which that was PS2 garbage graphics where half the polygons were stuck on the people's faces and stuff, but I still played it and beat it. It was okay to me, but as long as it's not like that kind of gobbledygook garbage, it should be fine. It doesn't have to be super big, and it doesn't matter if it's being played on an Xbox or a PlayStation. They're both the same. They're both the same. They both got the similar specs in every single way, and nothing matters. Maybe just different controller schemes where the controllers look and feel differently in your hands. That's probably it. But tell the average gamer that? No, they will not accept that. For me, if I'm playing on an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, I prefer an Xbox controller because I've been playing Xbox for a while, and I think the new PlayStation controllers are way too small, and they're a bunch of plastic garbage nowadays, overpriced garbage, I should say. That's my thing. That's my intrigue. I don't care about the new PlayStation controllers. I think they're little pieces of garbage plastic now that they used to be really good during the DualShock 3s and stuff. That's when I really liked the PlayStation controllers. During PlayStation 3 with the DualShock 3s and stuff, those were really good PlayStation controllers to me. They felt sturdy in my hands. They felt nice around my fingers and stuff, and I was able to, push all the buttons on top and the bottom without any problems. The Xbox ones, these kidney-based ones here that I'll bring up, and I know you can't see if you're listening to the podcast, it feels just fine in my hands. And I know there's people that complain and whine, but you know what? There's always going to be babies out there. And you guys can go just fuck yourselves, because I don't care. I don't care what you guys think, because you guys probably don't spend any money on games anyways. You're probably trying to rip it off from some other person to get your codes or whatever. A lot of these babies out there want the world, and they don't understand that the games are what the developers want them to be. But here's the thing. Games are art. It's an art form. It's an entertainment. It should be presumed like that. Not this, oh, we're going to make a quick buck and make a big buck on something. No, they got to be a lot better than that. And I know I'm going off on this long rant and tangent here, but I'm just sick of hearing people just whining about simple stuff because people don't understand. And it seems like the industry as a whole doesn't understand, unless if you're Nintendo, because they understand that they're watching all these other people, and they don't care if there's third-party games on their system or not, because they put out a lot of first-party titles, a lot of great first-party titles that sell enough to make them a lot of money. And then when third parties do come to their systems and port their games to their systems, they're like, hey, okay, cool, more money. They're the Apple of the video game world. And that is why they're the Apple of the video game world. They're not nickel and diming like Xbox when they just announced, oh, we need to make up all that money when we purchased Activision Blizzard. Well, You got 3+ trillion in the bank, Microsoft. I don't understand why you're worried about this. What was it? I forgot. $69 billion acquisition. You're going to make it back eventually. Put out some games. Put out some more, Diablo stuff and this and that. You got World of Warcraft that's printing money still. You got Call of Duty if you make it really good and it's a decent game. Black Ops 6 is successful. You're going to make a lot of money off of that. So why are you worried? Why are people worried? Why? Oh, because of shareholders. That's why. Because all these companies, Sony or Microsoft, are beholden because of shareholders. Any of the big ones, Take-Two, EA, Ubisoft, they all got people. They all got the same thing, shareholders. And you know what ruins a good franchise or a good product or anything that used to be good where the consumers are like, oh, I like that company. I like that product. Shareholders. Shareholders steer those ships because they either pump more money into the company or they take it away, and they're always whining. They want their money right away, and they want to see growth and more growth and more growth, and that's always impossible. But tell that to the little folk up there. And what's going to happen in the future if money goes away? How if it all went away one day? What are they going to all do? They're probably going to all kill themselves because they're like, I spent all my life trying to make all this money and it's all gone. And oh my God, what am I going to do now? I'll just blow my brains out. Okay. When people like me and you, if you're a person like me, you're just out there having fun. You're working hard. You're having fun. You're playing a few video games. And that's all that should matter. That's all that should matter. And you know what? If I have to wait till a video game goes down in price to what I want to purchase it for, I will. I'll wait. The price of a game will eventually go down, and then I'll purchase it when it's on sale. Or if it's like Star Wars Outlaws, and I have a bunch of Microsoft points laying around because I keep earning Microsoft points, and I cash in a $50 game gift card for it, and it only cost me $27 I think it was after the fact. That's good. So if the game is good when I played, then it's great. Then I only paid $27 for it. If it's a bad game, then it's like, it's only been $27, because the rest of it was all in Microsoft virtual points. So it's a win-win for me, and that's what I do, and that's what I'm going to do this year which I did for Star Wars Outlaws when I pre-purchased it already. I only paid $27 for it because I put in my $50 rewards point card. That's what I'm going to do for the new Assassin's Creed game when it comes out later this year. I'm just going to use my other gift card that I earned from the Microsoft rewards points, and there you go. See, because that makes it a lot easier. That makes it better for me because it's like, well, then I don't have to wait for the game to go on sale, which Ubisoft games go on sale anyways, rather quickly anyways. But anyways, that's the value. And I don't know what I was going with the point there. I think I just went into a big tangent and rant there, folks. But the industry sucks as a whole. And I think it needs a big kick in the groin for the whole games industry to reboot itself someday, where people aren't fighting over the best graphics, the best this, best that. I thought that like the next gen technology, like the next, we have, what is it? Is it 6.2 or not? Trying to think. Oh shit, game engines. I'm thinking. Isn't this latest Unreal tech supposed to be like the best of the best? They're making movies with it and stuff. Shouldn't that make it a lot easier and cheaper to make these games nowadays? And a lot of these other advanced game engines, you'd think it'd make it a little bit quicker and cheaper to make these games. And it's like, well, maybe they just make these games way too complicated. Like, they complicate things behind the scenes to make these games, and they can do it a lot simpler like they used to do back in the day. And maybe they're just making it too expensive and complicated because they're just putting too much towards it. Now, like I always said, and you can listen to my, I don't know which episodes, but way back on my GamezAttack podcast, I talked about how not every game has to be a AAA big budget game. Some of them could be a lot smaller and cheaper and still be really good, and people should just play them because they're really good games. But maybe sometimes studios should take a break instead of making all AAA games going forward. Make a AAA game if you have something, a good, strong idea in mind. And then after that sells and it sells well or whatever, go and make a bunch of smaller games and, take your time, keep the money flowing, keep it going good. And then when you're ready for that next gen big game and you can slowly start making, pre-planning it, creating it and stuff. And then when you're ready for production, make it. You don't have to burn it through tons of money and tons of time and all this advertisement bullshit and stuff. And you can make a really good game and people will buy those. But, hey, what do I know? Do I make games and sell them? No, I do not. But I do play them. I buy and play them. So, I've been watching and I watch behind the scenes. I watch documentaries on how games are made and stuff like that. And I got an idea on maybe they just need better management, and maybe we need better companies that aren't just beholden to their shareholders. Tell their shareholders once in a while to fuck off and say, hey, we're doing great here. You don't like it, go somewhere else. We got money in this company. We're trying to make the products the best we can. We're here for the people. We're here for the consumers. We're here for the customers that buy our products. We're not here for the shareholders that need their money right away. We need companies like that. Fine, thank you for investing in this company. Sure, you will make some good money from our company, but you got to understand, we're not here for just you. We're here to make great products and make people happy. So when we make those people happy, they will keep coming back to us to buy more of our games and products and services, and we'll make more money. And then in turn, you will make more money. Not worrying about what the so-called stock market is and stuff like that. Because like I said, that's all fake. It's all a dream, folks. The stock market's all this big enterprise, all this, too much of this stuff. It's all going to collapse one day. People don't believe it, but it will collapse one day. It's all on little stilts right now. It's all going to collapse. And guess what? All these big giant people and companies will lose a lot of stuff. They'll lose everything. And then it's back to the simple times again. It can only grow so much before it all topples. You can only build a skyscraper so big before one of those suckers will crack and fall someday. You got Abu Dhabi making the tallest, weirdest skyscrapers out there. One day one of those things might fall. They might crumble and fall under the weight or whatever. It's bound to happen. And not that I want the industry to crumble and fall, because I love all these people that make video games, but maybe I'll play more indie video games, because, a lot of indie people, they work on smaller budgets and teams, and they don't really care. They're just doing it for fun, and then they make some good money. When people come, look at Minecraft, Mojang Minecraft, Marcus Persons, before we found out he was a complete dillhole, he made a game. He made a ton of money off that game. That game became so big and popular, it's still taking out the industry as of today. And then you can have your Grand Theft Autos and stuff too. But there's got to be some leveling out there. I don't keep my money in the stock market. I don't really do the stock market. I know how volatile it is. I know it's all just a big gambling. The government doesn't want you to gamble, but yet you can put your money in the stock market. Oh, that's not gambling. There's no fingers on the scales of the stock market. Oh, no. No. Oh, boy. But people are paranoid about that, and they don't understand, but whatever. So, besides all that, let's get back into what matters here, talking about video games and not just branching out. Because I could keep going on and ranting, and people will think I'm more crazy than ever, but that's okay, because that's who I am, because I'm Mr. Mike. I'm Michael J. Byer, and I am crazy, and I'm crazy about video games. So, games that I played in the past week, folks. Why don't we get into this here, if I can find it. Here we go.
The games that have been played in the past week.
Boy, I could tell you my mouth was tired.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Had to take a little drink there, folks. Thank you very much for too much talking in one big opening. Holy cow. My throat. That's why these podcasts are never short, because I do too much. Wow, 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 wow. I'm like Pac-Man, but Pac-Man, as he's opening and closing his mouth, not just to eat, but to talk. That's how I feel sometimes. What is going on with video games? Wow, 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 wow. Anywho, been playing a bunch of games. I don't have to go through all of them, through a whole spiel of all of them. You already know some of them, like Yakuza 4. I'm still playing on our ROG Ally. That game, I like to milk those games a little bit now, because now that I played through them once before, now I'm just playing them for achievements and stuff like that, and just having fun. And I'm doing more in the Yakuza game. So Yakuza 4, I'm doing more in. I'm playing as Sejuwa right now. Sejuwa, I think that's how you say his name. He's the big Indian Yakuza-like dude with the long hair and stuff. I say he looks like he's an Indian because he does look Indianish. Excuse me for saying that, but he does. But he's pretty cool. He's a badass guy. Been playing a bunch of that. Initial 2 new stage on the Series X I finally beat. I think I put up my last Let's Play of that. I think I did that, where you watched me play and beat it. That game is completely broken, nothing game. It is a nothing game. Nothing really happens in that game. You're just fighting and do all that stuff, beat the main bad guy very easily, and then the game is over with. Okay, hack and slash, look at the pretty bouncy boobies and butts of the ladies, and that's all that game is. Thankfully, it was only a game I paid fairly nothing for. And I got 2 games out of that deal, too. It was this initial 2 news stage and another Japanese game or Chinese game or whatever game I got it. It was like a double pack. And you know what? It was interesting to play. It's a hack and slash RPG, whatever. I don't know what the RPG-ness of it was. You went around the so-called half-open world, and there was nothing in there. And it had PS2 graphics, and everything was broken about it. And okay, I got what I got out of it, and I'm done with that. Been going through, playing a little bit of each and every day. I've been having some fun in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Love that game. Been playing that on my Series X. I know a lot of people don't like the definitive collection and right now, because everybody still says it's like broken and it looks like crap and whatever. I'm like, it looks decent to me. It does enough that I need it to do. It is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I've been having my fun with it, even though the cars and motorcycles do float a lot. But that's how those games played back in the day, because I did go back and play one of them on a PS2 ROM and stuff like that, and they still slid around pretty quickly, and sometimes you can't stop and you're smashing into a wall and you fly off your motorcycle or whatever. Yeah, they were a thing of interestingness back in the day. But continuing on with Grand Theft Auto Vice City, playing the game. Excuse me, nose got a little itchy there. But having a lot of fun with it, and I already beat Grand Theft Auto 3. Now I'm playing Vice City. After I finish beating what I need to beat in Vice City, I'll go and continue on my adventures in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So it'll be the next game that I'm continuing on. I already started all 3 of them, but now I'm kind of slowly beating them again. So I'm beating Vice City again, and then I'll go into, like I said, San Andreas, and I'll play and beat that eventually. But yeah, having fun. It's those games, like I said, they were simply made. They sold a lot. They made a lot of money. Rockstar made a lot of money. What more can you say about that? But people nowadays just want them bigger and bigger, and that would be the same for Rockstar in the next Grand Theft Auto game that will hopefully be out next year. if everything goes right. And that game is gigantic, apparently, as I hear, and it's going to be super expensive, I hear, on the cost of how they produced that game. And it's like, okay, but that's what they always wanted to do. Rockstar always stated, or the people at Rockstar, I don't know if it was the Hauser brothers or whatnot, but the people at Rockstar always stated they wanted to make the biggest open world Grand Theft Auto game in history, and they keep pushing that table. They keep pushing the boundaries farther and farther, and they're making them bigger and bigger and longer, and they keep making them just gigantic worlds, like a whole state this time, I think it is, going forward, or that's what people are thinking that it's going to be. And it's like, they just want to make a huge, eventually Grand Theft Auto they might make the whole United States. Shit, they might make the Grand Theft Auto World game someday, where it's like, you can drive all around the world and do stuff and missions and stuff. That would be an interesting thing. That would have to be like an online multiplayer, single player multiplayer kind of thing, because they would need like massive servers, or else you would need a hard drive that's like 4 terabytes to hold a game like that if you're going to be going all around the world. Even the United States would be big if you wanted to just do a whole fictional United States Grand Theft Auto game. Go from this part of the United States to that part of the United States, from New York to California or San Antonio, Liberty City to San Andreas and stuff like that. That would be something. That would be something. And that's where they originally were trying to go, but I don't know how you'd make your money back on that stuff. You'd have to start selling exclusive cars, stuff like that. Like they do in Fortnite, do that with cars in Grand Theft Auto. Make some new vehicles, design and make new vehicles with cool stuff on them and whatnot. Sell them in the games. Sell them in the games, motorcycles, all this stuff. They can make some money off of it. Shirts, clothing. I hate to say all that, but shit, why not? Get to design your own, put it in the game. Hey, it'll cost you $5 to put your own design in the game, whatever. Yeah, okay. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, still fun. Don't care what people say about the definitive edition. I think it's decent to me. I played it on all the Switch. I played it on the Xbox. I played it on, not on PC. I should get it for PC, because I bet you could do even more with the PC versions of the game. But I have it on the Switch, and I have it on the Xbox, so that's good. Also been playing a lot of Skyrim Special Edition for PC, as you know, because I've been streaming it for the past couple weeks, and I got a Let's Play that I recorded, a Skyrim Special Edition. Been having my fun again. This time around, I want to beat Skyrim again. That is my goal. It might get pushed to the side for a little bit when Star Wars Outlaws comes out and I play that game, but I definitely want to get back into playing more more Skyrim Special Edition, because it is such a great title. Hold on one second here. I just want to adjust something. There we go. I don't know if my sound is too low or not. I'm just looking at my soundboard. It was looking a little low. Now it's looking a little hot, but we'll see. Anyways, yes, Skyrim, great Elder Scrolls game. I've been saying in all my live streams and talking about it. I think I talked about it in my last podcast. I don't remember, because I don't remember what I said in my last podcast, but I never beat an Elder Scrolls game. So I'm thinking, try to beat Skyrim this time around on the PC, because I played it. This is my 4th time playing Skyrim, or Elder Scrolls Skyrim, because the first 2 times were on the 360 when it first came out, and there was a game save bug going around on that game, and I lost my game saves twice on the 360, and I got really pissed off and at Bethesda and all that, and I was like, well, fuck this. And then Skyrim's, I think a Skyrim's, what was it, it was a special edition. It was with the DLC and all that. It came out for the Xbox One edition of it. Played that for a while, played the extra DLC and all that stuff that they were coming out with for Skyrim. But then I just, I dropped out of it because there was a bunch more games I wanted to play. And I'm like, okay, I played all this. I think I got too close to the boss, but I don't remember if I beat it or not. But I got close to it. And then I stopped playing it. And then eventually when Game Pass came to town and all that, I said, maybe I should play Skyrim again on my PC, because it's on PC and I can earn brand new achievements and I could play it. So I started playing it from the beginning. And then I put it away for a while, and then I started up again, and now I'm started up again, and I'm having a blast. Sure, I'm doing a little cheating. I'm putting it in God mode, because you could go onto the console screen on your PC by hitting the tilde key, type in TPM to make it so you can make yourself invincible, basically. And I'm making myself invincible. I got a bunch of money I put in for myself. I still can get achievements because I'm not doing anything that's really pushing the game. So I guess I still can get achievements in the game. So I've been doing that. And I've just been legitly playing the missions. Sure, I'm in God mode, and sure, I've got more money than I ever need to worry about in the game anymore. But I've been having fun. I've been leveling up my powers and abilities and stuff. I like my lightning bolts. I like my sword. I'm pretty badass. I'm a vampire lady this time around, even though I think I want to get out of being a vampire lady. Maybe I'll try to do that mission or that side thing that I could get out from being a vampire lady, but who knows? Because it's annoying when you go out into the sun every time and it's like, yeah, and it does that whole, oh, your blood is boiling. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not really doing anything to me. And I haven't sucked anybody's blood and whatever. But it's been fun. And I said to myself, I am going to beat it this time. I'm going to beat it. So I've been going the distance with it. Been playing a little bit every day or every other day whenever I get a chance. Like I said, when Star Wars Outlaws comes out this week, I'll be focusing on that mostly. So Skyrim will be pushed to the side for a little bit, but eventually I'll come back to it and I'll play more and more of it. And eventually I'll beat it for the first time because I beat all the Fallout games. I just need to beat at least one Elder Scrolls game, Skyrim, because don't forget they got another Elder Scrolls game slowly in the works over at Bethesda Studios over there. So in the future of 2029 or 2030, whenever they release the next Elder Scrolls game, when Todd Howard decides that it's up to his little standards, then I'll be playing that. We'll all be playing that game. I even beat, like I said to people, I even beat Starfield, and I know a lot of people didn't care for Starfield, but here's the thing. You know what makes Starfield better? You just put it in God mode. I know some people out there are such purists. They're like, no, that's bad. That's cheating. You're cheating yourself. No, not always. That makes it a whole lot more fun when you're in God mode, especially when you could go still do the same things in the game. You just can't get killed as easily and stuff. You don't have to worry about all that little mundane stuff. You could go through the game the way you want to, play who you want to, do what you want to, and still have a good, fun time in those games. I'm telling you, I love it. As long as I'm having fun, that's all that matters, right? As a gamer, it doesn't matter what you do. You could cheat to the heaven high hell. If you're not playing like some multiplayer game with other players against other players, it's not cheating because you're just, and some people say, but you're cheating yourself. I'm like, no, I'm having fun. That's all the games are for, having fun. There's nothing cheating myself about it. But, hey, we can all agree to disagree on that. I know people hate that saying as well, but hey, that's what it is. I'm having fun in Skyrim. I'm doing a little cheating this time around, and I think I earned it. This is my 4th time playing this game. 4th time. I lost my saves twice. The 3rd time I just fell off of it. I deserve, I think, to be able to play it a little bit in a little cheat mode there and still be able to get my goods from the service. So yes, been playing it on PC. It plays phenomenally well, and I figured out how to record it better because there, of course, different resolutions and stuff, and you got dual monitors, and everything's flickering on and off and bouncing all around, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But when the game gets it gets it going good. So definitely highly recommend Skyrim Special Edition for the PC to play, especially if you play it via Game Pass, because then it's virtually free. Been going on and off still. I know I was saying before that I was probably going to stop playing this, but I actually kept going, and I'm still playing it in little chunks. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy on the PC, because it's in Game Pass still. I've been doing, I actually beat the main parts of the game. Now I'm in the, what do they call it? The stories, the seasons, whatever they call the What are they called? I can actually look it up right here. Let me go into this one. What are they called? They're called Trials and Tribulations episodes. I'm already done with Phoenix Wright Justice for All and all that stuff. I'm done with all the main Phoenix Wright stuff. Now I'm in the Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations stuff. I'm on this episode 2 of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. And I'm just been slowly going through it. Been just going through the game slowly here and there. I'll pick it up, do a few trial things, look for some stuff, do some, minor searching, and then I'll drop the game. I'll stop playing the game, and then I'll get back into it because it's Phoenix Wright. Those games just drag on and on and on and on. They get very long. A lot of reading, a lot of text, just very, very long games. Long games. But I am getting farther into it. I might actually beat Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, unless if it gets off of Game Pass or something, because I don't think I purchased it. But it wouldn't matter to me. I already know what happens in all these trials and tribulations. I watched the anime. The anime covers all of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy and all that stuff, so I already know what's going on. I just wanted to do them, play through them, earn some achievos, easy achievements from them, and because that's who I am, an achievement whore still. So, yeah, been playing that. Also, surprisingly, and it's just because there's been a lot of down talk on the new Borderlands movie, which sounds really boring in a way when everybody's saying it. And a lot of people that's seen it in the games industry, not everybody's been saying that it's just a nothing movie. I'm like, I might have to see this nothing movie when it's on Blu-ray or streaming or something, because it seems very interesting for this nothing movie. Like, there's nothing that goes on in this movie. There's no real story. That's just like how they did the Monster Hunter movie with Mila Jovovich. There's nothing that happens in that Monster Hunter movie. It's okay. I have it. I watch it once in a while because I just like to watch it for Mila Jovovich and what's his name? Oh fuck, forgot what his name was. That one guy. Oh shoot, he's in all the movies, like the Aliens movies, the Riddick movies, stuff like that. Oh, what's his name? He's been in so many movies. I'm not gonna remember it. I'm not gonna push my brain to remember his name. But you all know who I'm talking about. And it has him in this movie as well. But I like watching Mila Jovovich. She's sexy. You gotta say it. She knows how to kick butt, and she can hold a big damn sword. But that's a nothing movie. That Monster Hunter movie was a nothing movie. Nothing really happened to it. She fought some monsters. They went on a track and ended up killing. And then at the end of the movie, it's like on another portal or something opened up, I think, if I remember correctly, or something that would push it to a sequel, which I don't know if that's ever going to get made, because I don't think that movie made any money. But it was a nothing movie. That's what that new Borderlands movie is, a nothing movie. And everybody knew it for a long time because it was under so much scrutiny and secrecy, and nothing was ever said about it. It just went off the radar, and then they came back, and then they're like trying to promote the hell out of it, and it's like, well, it's a nothing burger, and people don't care for it, so okay. But it got me into saying, oh, yeah, Borderlands 3. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit more Borderlands 3, especially before they eventually announced the release date for Borderlands 4, which they did announce at Gamescom. They had their little teaser trailer, which I'm thinking it was all because the Borderlands movie, they had to be like, okay, we got to get some maybe positivity. I don't know if that actually happened for them. I heard there wasn't too much excitement for a Borderlands 4 announcement, but oh well. 2K just bought them, so I'm guessing they're feeling a little hesitant now. But at this time when everything Borderlands has been going belly up, the film franchise and the next game, who knows how that's going to be going. Hey, I like the Borderlands games. I like them all. I know there's people out there saying, oh, the Borderlands 3 sucked. It has the worst writing and jokes and everything. And I'm like, Yeah, but I don't really play it for the jokes and the writing. Sure, I listen to that stuff and hear what it has to say. I just go in to play Borderlands 3 to shoot and kill and loot, shoot and kill. That's all I've been doing. And I jumped back into it for a little bit to see where I was at and how the game was feeling. I'm like, yeah, I got a hold of it. I remember my weapon choices and stuff, and I know people say, oh, you should always change up your weapon choices and stuff, but I usually keep the best weapons I can keep, and I think I got a good combination of what kind of weapons I have in Borderlands 3 with a big shotgun, a big rifle, a big sniper rifle and stuff, and I've been having fun playing some more Borderlands 3. I should do a Let's Play of it. I might do that when I get a chance to. If I get a chance today, maybe I'll play some Borderlands 3 and do a Let's Play of that. But, yeah, I've been having some fun going back into Borderlands. It's been a while. It's been a while for a looter-shooter of that type. But, got back into it, seeing what it's like, and feels really good, plays really well, and you don't have to know where you're at or what's going on in the game. You're just doing the missions, and that's what I've been doing. I forgot I got super far into that game, and I did, into Borderlands 3. So, yeah, keep going, keep having some fun. Jump in, play a little bit, jump out. That's what gaming is, folks. Having some fun, jumping in, jumping out, and not just worrying about, oh, is this game the best game out there? Nah, it doesn't have to be. It could just be fun. Just a fun jump in, jump out game. That's what Borderlands 3 is. That's probably what Borderlands 4 is going to be. I have some friends out there that were religiously loving Borderlands and the Borderlands franchise and Borderlands 3 and stuff, and they loved Borderlands 3 and all that. That they're big franchise fanatics, and I'm like, cool. I played a little bit. I think I played some co-op with them before, and it's good. It's a good what it is. I'm not gonna go crazy over everything on that, but as long as I'm having fun, like I said to people, like I said to you guys over and over again, as long as you're having fun and what you're playing and doing, then who cares? Who cares what others think or want you to think? It's just if you have the fun. And the final game I've been playing on my list of games that I have been playing in the past weeks because of the upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 6 game. I wanted to play Modern Warfare 3. I've said to myself, maybe I should pick up an older Call of Duty game and start playing it and seeing how it feels because they have it up on Game Pass and stuff. Just the game. Just the story, not the multiplayer online bullshit that I can never play or get into because I know I'll just get sniped out right out of the gate. So it's not my thing. It's not my fun to play. But I installed and I started up and I did a little video of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and I played it for a Let's Play. And I am super bad at it. I'm super bad at playing a Call of Duty, even a story-based game. But I'm getting through it a little bit at a time. But I'm really horrible at it, and it seems like it's different than what I used to see a Call of Duty game for. Call of Duty, I remember, used to just have a bunch of other people in a war. We're all fighting a war. We're all getting into an objective. Now it seems more like, oh, we want to get into the spy game stuff. And that's what you've been seeing in like the recent Black Ops 6 videos that they've been showing, gameplay, and all the other games. It's been making it more like, oh, we're making you like a James Bond kind of thing. What happened to the open world, like shooting war thing where you're just going around towns, shooting up towns, killing the bad guys, taking over the towns, freeing the people, have a nice little story, do a little bit of here and there stuff. You could do a little bit of James Bond stuff, but going back in and just battling with a bunch of tanks and this and that, it doesn't seem like that. At least in what I've basically started playing in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, I felt like I was more like playing like I said, a James Bond type of game or a shooter, like a actual shooter game, not a war game. What this war is like espionage and behind the scenes as you are like an agent or something. This isn't, oh, you're with a group of other characters. Boom, boom, boom. We're in a battle. Let's get through the battle, you know? I don't know. Am I having fun in it? Yeah, until I get really shut up because I can't see any of the characters. See, I was also having a hard time seeing the bad guys in this game because there's too much covered. It's too realistic. It's one of those reasons why I know I would never want to be in a real war or something, or go to war to fight, because I just couldn't pick out between a bad guy and a good guy and what cover is this and that. Thtoo much of that stuff. I'd be shooting everything and everyone. It would just be a total disaster. They'd hang me for war crimes because I'd just be like, I don't know. I'm just shooting what looks like it needs to be shot at. I don't know. Tell me more. I was getting so confused in this game, and I'm like, why am I going here? Oh, I got to shut this thing down. Why can't I just go in a battle and shoot people up? Come on. Give me this. Let me go to get a rocket launcher and whatnot and blow away something. Like I got to blow away some helicopters in Modern Warfare 3. That was okay, but it felt like, it didn't feel like I was in a war. It felt like I was a agent that was going in a 007 kind of capacity, going into these places, you know, hopping boxcar to boxcar, trying to get to the objective to blow something up or kill something or whatever to get to another objective and not get caught or killed and stuff. And it's like, I don't want to sneak around the whole thing. I just want to go out there, bam, 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 shoot, like the original Call of Duty games were. That's what I really liked about the original Call of Duties. And I think the first Modern Warfare and stuff, they were just, you were with a team, you're shooting stuff up, bang, bang, next objective. Oh, there's a guy in the building. Boom, boom, boom. Run around, get him. Boom, boom, boom. That's all I want. We'll see. I'll see if I decide to play more of this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It looks great. It plays great. It's just I'm not great at it. And I worry about when Black Ops 6 comes out. I am going to definitely try to play that because it's going to be free on Game Pass, but I'm probably going to suck to heaven, high hell in the game. But I'll let you people watch me as I suck and I complain and whine and almost throw my controller to the ground. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Am I going to be interested in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 when it comes out? I don't know. Can we go back to World War II again? Can we go to do a Vietnam War? I don't know. I know people said those are played out, but I don't think any of this newer stuff is any better. I want to be in a war. That's why it's called Call of Duty Modern Warfare or whatever. If this is what Modern Warfare is, if we're all sneaking around by ourselves and trying to take out stuff, that's boring war. I want tanks and planes, and I want to be able to jump to this and that and blow people up and stuff like that. I want a real war. That's why I play stuff like Command and Conquer games, because you get a military. You get to build up a military and blow things up and away. If I want to play this, I'll play that new James Bond game that the people over at the Hitman group are making right now. Or I could play the Hitman games as well, yes. Those were pretty fun as well. But if I want to do that, I'll play that James Bond 007 game that I still got on my Xbox, that old one. Yeah, but I don't know. If this is what Future Warfare is like, I'm like, yeah, okay. I know people like it, but I just want to go around. I know they do that online, but I suck online so bad. I'm so bad at online. I will try it. When Black Ops 6 comes out, I will try to play a little bit of multiplayer in that, but I'm telling you right now, you're not going to see much from me. I'm just going to get my ass handed to me in like nanoseconds. It was just like that one time I played the one Call of Duty online. I just went in and I'm in there, boom, oh, I'm dead. Boom, I'm dead. I'm like, I'm not even out of the gate. Boom, I'm dead. I'm dead. And I'm like, okay, fuck this game. I'm going to play Grand Theft Auto or something because I was so bad at it. Anywho, those were the games that I played in the past weeks. And going forward, like I said, Star Wars Outlaws. I hope it's good. I hope it's really good. Pre-ordered it. It's coming out August 30th. I will be definitely doing a lot of stuff that day. That's on a Friday. I know it'll probably be out like midnight Thursday, but Friday I will be, during the day, I will record a non-stream, of course. This will be a non-stream recording of first gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws. I want to, play it, show off the beginning. It's going to be my first gameplay. That's why I call it first gameplay, because it'll be my first gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws. And I'll get into everything. I'll see how the game is on my first gameplay. And then after that's recorded, edited, and put out, then I will do a stream. It's probably going to be 8 o'clock stream, but I might do a pre-stream too. It depends on the day. It depends that day. I might do a stream or pre-stream. Maybe I'll just play the game and then I'll stream more of the game later at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I was thinking about starting earlier that day, but I'm like, why don't I keep it at 8 p.m.? I remember I tried to start a game stream early on Friday once, and it was completely got disemboweled, and I kept pushing it back because I had other things going on. And then I realized, well, okay, I got to start the game an hour early instead of like 2 or 3 hours early like I originally was planning. And so I'm just going to keep it at 8 p.m. Eastern time, when it'll be a GameOn session of playing Star Wars Outlaws. Like I said, I hope it's great. It looks great. Everybody that's been already playing it out there in the industry, the real people, the real people that play it, the real game influencers / review critics out there that got their hands on it already, lucky dogs. We're saying it's pretty damn good, but that's all they can talk about of it. Like I said, I will determine that for myself when I go ahead and get into play it. I'm interested. It's not, you're not playing with a character that has a lightsaber or anything to do with the light and the dark side. You're in that universe. You're in between Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi in this game, and you're having fun as being an outlaw, as a ruffian, basically, like a Han Solo type character with your main character. And you got and you're just being a scoundrel, and you're just going around trying to get bigger scores, trying to make that easy, well, not easy, but semi quicker money out there, and or credits, money credits, whatever they want to call it. And you're just trying to be living your life in this world that is all corrupt by the Empire and stuff, and a big war is going on and stuff, and it's like, okay, I'm interested in it. I'm really interested in what I seen it. Got your little, they got your little fun friend, your little Nick's character. He looks cool. He looks like he can do some stuff. I think this might be a good game. Like I said, I haven't played it yet, but I will Friday. Like I said, we'll have a nice first gameplay video of it. And I'll hopefully have that up that same day before everything early. And then I will stream and play Star Wars Outlaws at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the GameOn stream. And I'll play that as long as till I fall asleep. Yes. The 30th of August is going to be big. I plan on getting some real food that day. I don't know. I'm thinking Texas Roadhouse that day. That's going to be a Texas Roadhouse day for me. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Because I like to eat I want to eat some ribs. That's a good time to get some ribs and ribs for like lunch or something, and those biscuits and potatoes and gravy and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe I'll get the French fries this time. I don't know, because I usually get the mashed potatoes, but maybe I'll get the fries. Anything's possible on Star Wars Outlaws Day. That's going to be August 30th coming up. So I pre-ordered that. I also purchased, which I don't know if anybody cares about game controllers and stuff. I know I do. I care about my game controller. And I purchased The Xbox wireless controller, it's the Sky Cypher Special Edition controller. It's the one where it's the Sky Cypher blue and it's see-through and all that. They just came out with it. I know a lot of people were pretty interested in that, and it seemed like it's selling out pretty good. I spent $70 on that controller, and you're probably like, "Oh, Mr. Mike, see, here you go. You're buying controllers and stuff." Well, first off, I like my Xbox controllers, and I used to buy all the time custom or those limited edition, special edition Xbox controllers. And, I'm thinking, well, they're still doing it. They're still making some good ones. I have like a Tomb Raider one. I have a Gears of War. These were back on the 360, mind you. The Gears of War controller. I got the Tomb Raider controller. What else do I got? I don't know. I have the Final Fantasy faceplate. Back when they used to have the Xbox 360 faceplates, those were cool. I miss those. A lot of people miss those faceplates. Microsoft, why don't you, on your next system, come back with the faceplates? Well, unless if you're doing, which I think you might be doing, but nobody can confirm it. I think Microsoft's going to be doing their version of the Switch hybrid console, handheld hybrid console thing. That's just the possibility. What I'm thinking that they might do, where they'll have the next handheld is going to be also a gaming console, and it's going to all be in one system, where you could take it off and play it on the go and put it back on and play it in 4K on your TV and stuff like that. That's just my 2 cents on that. I don't know. I got it in my head that Microsoft might be doing that this time around. But anywho, yes. I purchased that Cypher controller. I know it's $70. Do I really need it? Not necessarily, because I do have another Xbox Series controller sitting brand new in a packaged box in my basement right now. And I do have 2 of them right here, and I got the 2 other collectors controllers, the Duke controllers. Remember when Hyperkin came out with the Duke original Xbox controllers for the Series consoles, the wired ones? Those are pretty cool. I got 2 of those suckers as well. Yeah, this Cypher Blue one is like, this could be really cool for me to play my Xbox games with. I was thinking of my PC because I do play a lot of PC games with, but I'm thinking I'll just use it as my show-off controller for playing regular Xbox games, because I might be needing, because this is my original, this is a pre-series, this is an Xbox One controller. I might be needing to sell this puppy with my Xbox One console, because I'm thinking, I don't know for sure, but a guy at work might be wanting to purchase my Xbox One for me, because I don't really need it, because I got a Series X, and the Xbox One isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. They'll still be able to, they're still making games that you can play on it all the time, so if he wants to buy it from me, he can go right ahead, and I'll sell him that, and I'll give him the controller, and then I'll have the Cypher Blue controller as my main Xbox controller, and that will be pretty cool, because I do love the see-through. I like to see through my controllers, so, and that Cypher Blue is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool color. So yes, I did splurge a little bit on myself to buy a controller. Why not? I owe it to myself to get back into purchasing stupid, overpriced collectibles like gaming controllers and stuff like that once in a while. I was still thinking about buying some collector's editions. Like, they have some interesting collector's editions out there for games and stuff. Like, they have that the remake of, or the what do they call it? The remaster remake of Lollipop Chainsaw, where they have what's her name? Starlet? Oh, what's her name? Starlet, Sugar Popples, whatever her name is. I keep forgetting her name. Where the girl, the cheerleader girl, the main character, Violet, is her name Violet? I think it's Violet. Well, we're just going to call her Violet. I know it's been a little while, but they have a collector's edition where she's a statue And of course, I like my sexy video game lady statues where she's in her cheerleader outfit. She's got her dead boyfriend's head. Well, he's not dead. He's alive on her keychain, a big oversized head keychain on her side. And she's doing her little dance thing there. And I'm like, how much? $100 and something from Limited Games? Because you get it's the collector's edition, physical title of the game. And I'm like, not at this time. Nah. But I think they're not gonna be selling it for much longer. I think they're gonna end pre-selling the collector's editions. And I'm like, where am I gonna put another statue or something in my house? I don't have any more room to put more collectible statues and stuff in there. So I'm trying to wait for a very decent, good collector's edition of a game where I will be playing the game where it'll be good enough for me or justified enough for me to purchase another collectibles statue or something of a game from a franchise that I liked, because I do like Lollipop Chainsaw, and I do like the main character, even though I forget her name, which I think it's Violet. I think it's Violet. I'm not gonna look it up right now, but it was something like, should I get this? And I'm looking at the price. I'm like $100 and something. Nah. I still wish that GameStop and WB, mostly it was WB Games, back when they had I think it was Arkham Knight, the last Arkham main game of the trilogy, where they were going to come out with that Batmobile, the Bat Tank Mobile car, and it was going to be like multi-opening and all that. I pre-ordered that like a bunch of other suckers out there. And then they canceled all our pre-orders on it, and they said, no, we're getting rid of the cars. They didn't come out just right, or something was not right about the Batmobile cars. And it was so devastating. I was so pissed off. I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck you, WB. That was in the pre-fuck you, WB days, where it's like, oh, you're coming out with this awesome collectible car. All of us wanted this Batmobile vehicle, tank car vehicle, and you guys just canceled the pre-order of that. And then it's just, oh, it's only the game. Well, we'll sell you this collector's edition, whatever it is, expansion DLC. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm just buying the game. Fuck you guys. I'm not giving you extra money for shit that I don't want. When all I wanted was this Batmobile, and it would have been awesome to put up on my shelf, just like Batman. When the first Arkham game came out on the 360, I have that collector's edition where you have Batman, and I have the Batman collector statue, and I still got the box where you could see it through in the box with him, and that's badass. That's pretty damn badass. I should show it off one day, but yeah, I was so devastated, like a lot of people, and that's when they started dropping like collector's editions. That's when it was like the start of, oh well, we're not coming out with this collector's edition. We couldn't get this right or that, and then collector's editions started going away, and then they just wanted to do stupid collector's edition DLC where it's like, oh, we'll sell you this for $200 and you'll get all this extra in-game DLC and this and that. And it's like, fuck you guys. I want a nice little statue. You used to come out with cool statues and things. I got to be able to see and touch the character that I'm playing in the game, and it was really cool. And that Batmobile would have been pretty badass, and no. Because I get a lot of collector's editions from the past. I have the Skyrim one, Dragon one, that was badass. I got the Halo, what was it? I think it was Halo 4 or 5. Was it Halo Guardians? I got that collector statue where you got the two Spartans in the middle of this, like, I don't know, rock thing. I got the Gears of War Lancer. I wanted the JD Phoenix motorcycle collector's edition, but that never went down far enough in price for me to get it. It was on Amazon for a while, and originally I wanted it, and then they never lowered the price on that, and it was sitting there for like years and years. I think somebody finally just snatched up the last one not too long ago, but it was like $180 or something, and it was like the last one. I was like, I was forever. I was looking at it, I'm like, I'm not spending $180 on a JD Phoenix motorcycle statue or anything like that. Or was it Marcus Phoenix on there? No, I think it was JD Phoenix, because they were promoting his son a lot more, which everybody hated his son. I was like, yeah, his son is kind of a dick, but what do you expect? You're coming from a household they have Marcus Phoenix and stuff from. But anyways, I wonder if they're going to come out with a new Gears of War Collector's Edition in the future. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to get it. I got a bunch more. I got the Titanfall Titan statue, collector's statue thing, and everybody came over to my house. They all wanted me to give them that statue. They're like, oh, you don't like Titanfall that much? You should give me the statue. I'm like, I like Titanfall enough. I like the damn mech statue. Thank you. I like mechs. The first Titanfall game was awesome. The second one I hated. Yes, I hated the second Titanfall game, folks. I did not like that storyline at all. I thought it was nothing. I played through the whole storyline and I felt nothing from it. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I hated Titanfall 2's main quest. Now, if they ever do decide they want to go back to Titanfall, which they're a part of EA now, which I know that'll probably never happen, but if they ever wanted to make a Titanfall 3, I might try to get back into that and go and do some Titanfall playing, because that was fun. They just got to make the Titans more peppy and make it easier for people like me to jump in them and just fight around and maybe do some rock and sock 'em robot kind of things in the Titans or something. Spice it up a little bit. But I did like Titanfall a lot. I sucked at the game, but I played a lot of Titanfall. It was fun. It was a very fun game. But yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm getting that on Tuesday. I think it says it's coming. That Cypher edition, blue edition of the Xbox Series controller. So it'll be coming this Tuesday. So I'll be busting out that bad boy, and then I'll be showing it off when I play some maybe Star Wars Outlaws. That'd be a good thing. Show that off during the Star Wars Outlaws play. Why not? So we had Gamescom last week. I watched the beginning of it. I watched the whole Jeff Keighley presentation and all that stuff, the day one stuff. And then after that, I didn't watch anything else about it. I just, read articles, looked around to see if there's anything interesting. But I got the whole list of stuff that they showed off on day one. New games, remakes, all that stuff. Bunch of stuff you already knew about, like the Borderlands 4 from Gearbox. They announced that was in the works. So we saw that. That was like the opening of Gamescom. Mafia, the Old Country, which I guess is going to be a really old Mafia RPG that they're creating from Hangar 13. Everybody's wondering if Hangar 13 was still going to be around after the last Mafia game they made wasn't doing too well. And everybody's wondering, what's Hangar 13 going to be doing? Are they going to be disbanded? And I think they were about to come out with a Mafia game or work on a Mafia game prior to that. And something happened and just fell through. And people were thinking that Hangar 13 as a studio was going to go away. They're a 2K studio, I think, as well. And people thought, oh, that's not looking too good for Hangar 13 over a 2K. Everybody thought they were going to be gone. But I guess Mafia, the Old Country is what they're making now. They like those Mafia games. I only played a little bit of Mafia 3. I thought it was okay. I just never played too much of it. They have, what is it called? I got to load this up, folks. Forgive me for a second here. Loading up my Xbox PC Game Pass. What is the Mafia that they can? Mafia Definitive Edition. Yes, Mafia Definitive Edition from 2K. That just came on Game Pass, folks, and or you can buy it for $32. And it looks kind of interesting. I don't know. I might want to maybe check out some Mafia Definitive Edition. I never played through any of the Mafia. It's like an old school Grand Theft Auto. It seems like you're playing. As it says here, it's a cinematic third-person shooter that tells the story of Tommy Angelo, a hard-working cab driver who becomes embedded in the brutal world of organized crime in the 1930s America. I like that shit. That shit is cool. Mafia kind of stuff. I like stuff like that. I like Mafia. Except for the Godfather movies. I know You're going to hate me for saying that. I did not like the Godfather movies. I saw them a while ago. I fell asleep watching them because they were so boring to me. I just never got through them. I like Scarface. I like Casino, stuff like that. I just never cared for the Godfather movies. Does that make me a bad person? It probably does, but oh well. But yeah, when they came out with this Mafia Definitive Edition for PC here, I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, that might be something I might want to check out and play, maybe on a Let's Play or something. I don't know. But I have it here on my list of games that I might play. I might want to still try to beat a couple other games before I get into it. But yeah, that got me thinking. I never did play full. That Mafia 3 was okay. I still have it, but I don't know if I'll ever get back into it. But I just never really got into it at that time. I don't know why. Yeah, but they announced Mafia, the whole country from Hangar 13. So I guess Hangar 13's still sticking around. Do they have the same people in the company? Probably not, but that's like any games company nowadays in the industry. And then they announced the release date for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle from Machine Games. They showed that off, of course. And the release date, as stated here, let me see here. Hold on. Why am I even doing this? I could just click on the game. I don't know why I did that. Excuse me, folks. I forgot how computers work. Coming out December 9th, 2024 of this year, folks. So this year, December 9th, 2024, is going to be the release date for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So if you're wondering when this game was coming out, it's coming out December 9th. So hell yeah to you people on Xbox and PC. And I will be playing Indiana Jones the Great Circle. I think I might want to try that on a PC. I don't know. Could play it on an Xbox. On my Series console. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Maybe I might play it on my Series X. I don't know. It might be easier to capture from there. I don't know. It's not going to be a very graphical game. It doesn't look too graphical, but it looks good enough. Capcom announced Monster Hunter Wilds. So you Monster Hunter fans, you get more Monster Hunter. There you go. Never cared for Monster Hunter. I tried it. I just didn't care how it played, and I fell right off of it. But at least I tried it. I thought it looks cool. I'll watch other people play Monster Hunter, but I just never got hooked into it. I think it was just too much for me. There was just too much in Monster Hunter for me, and I wish they would have kept it more simplified, where I'm just hunting the monsters, collecting stuff, go to this town, collect some stuff to build better weapons and whatnot to kill them. And that would have been just fine for me. But anywho, I just never cared about Monster Hunter. I'll watch other people play it. I'll enjoy it with them, but just not my shtick. Not every game can be your shtick. So, but people love Monster Hunter games, and they got another one coming. Dying Light: The Beast from Techland. Is that a new game or is that a sequel? I'm going to look it up right here. It is to be announced. Okay, they say to be announced for a release date. Okay, Dying Light The Beast is a standalone zombie adventure set in a tightly crafted rural region. Play as Kylie Crane, a legendary hero who breaks free after years of brutal experiments. Now he must realize there's more at stake than just revenge. Okay, there you go. There's your synthesis on Dying Light: The Beast. People like their Dying Light games, so there's another one. From Tarsier Studios, Renamel. Not even going to look that one up, but it's another game. Oh, more Sniper Elite games are coming out. Sniper Elite Resistance. So people are still playing those games. I guess if you just want to be hateful and spiteful against Call of Duty games and do they even make the Battlefield games at EA anymore. I haven't seen or heard a Battlefield game for a long time, but if you don't care about those older Battlefield games or you don't care about Call of Duty, I guess people still like to snipe with Sniper Elite. Because Sniper Elite Resistance is coming out from Rebellion. From Tandemi, Begone Beast. A game that's coming out. Don't know nothing about it, but it looks a little like Five Nights at Freddy's. Because you got a bear, you got this crocodile, you got this bunny, you got these characters that look like things from Five Nights at Freddy's. That could just be me, but I'm just looking at the cover art here of the picture. Art creators from Embark Studios. Roadcraft from Saber Interactive. We Harvest Shadows from David Well. So it must be an indie game made by one guy, because it says David Well. Ayla, or AILA, from Paul Strix Studios. Definitely looks like a VR game. Dune: An Awakening from Funcom. I guess people like the Dune games. That's another thing. That's another series I never really got into, is the Dune movies and the Dune series. I think I saw one Dune movie, and I think it was the earlier Dune movies. Just never cared for it. I thought, stuff is going on. They're fighting over, what, the spice? I know that. They're fighting over spice. And that's it. So it reminds me of like Mad Max, but with big sandworms. I'm just waiting for Beetlejuice to pop out of there and go, "Hey, what's up, boys? This is Beetlejuice here. Let's get real up in Dune country." But I guess there's a Dune game coming. Of course, they've talked more about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 from Raven Software. Maybe I think they announced the release date of that during that time. Don't quote me on that. Heralding from Okomotive. Okay. Looks like you're a farmer with these big giant fuzzy beasts with weird curvy horns. Okay. Directive 8020, a Dark Pictures games from Supermassive Games. So it looks like a space horror movie type of game. Okay. Path of Exile 2 from Grinding Gear Games. They announced that before. They're talking more about that. Dave the Diver from Mint Rocket. That must be like some DLC or something, or else they might have that on VR or something, because I know that game's been out for a while, Dave the Diver. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage from Don't Nod. Oh, this is that one, not competition game, but it's that one game that's like the Life is Strange games, but it's not. It's made by Don't Nod. It made a lot of the Life is Strange games, but they're doing their own thing. So embark on a new narrative journey by the creators of Life is Strange. Film your summer of 1995 and create memories of a lifetime with your new friends. 27 years later, confront the dark secrets that made you all promise to never speak again after that fateful summer. So it's basically a little bit of the same. This is basically like a drama. It's a adventure game, but it's like a drama type of game. You know, they make a lot of life decisions in these games, a lot of darkness type life decisions in these games, where you're playing these games and it's like, oh God, they had some hard times with these kids or these people. Oh God, life decision games. They're really good. Don't Nod make some good games. And this feels like something like I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of feel to it, doesn't it? Never speak about it again after that fateful summer. Yes. So, they were talking about this Lost Records game. Will it make big out there? I don't know. Because there is another Life is Strange game coming out, and they got the remaster of Life is Strange, right? Or no, those came out. They got the new Life is Strange that's coming out. But that's been pushed to next year, so they can let Lost Records, Bloom and Rage come out, and from because those are both Square Enix games, I think. Linked Banner of Spark from FuzzyBot. Looks like a multiplayer type of game. King of Meat from Glowmade. Okay. Nico Durico, The Magical World via games. See, you can tell that a lot of these are like those more indie studios or those studios that are coming from game publishers from China and stuff like that. You can tell that a lot of these are those weird games, those little games you never would see Microsoft or Sony publish directly, but they got these other publishers that are able to publish these games through bigger means and stuff, or they publish them on Steam and stuff like that. So these games come out. Enotria, the last song from Jayama Games. Karen, not Karen like the name Karen, but Cairn, Karen from Game Bakers. It looks like a climbing game of some sort, at least what they're showing in the main picture here. Tribe 9 from Akatsuki Games Incorporated. Then we got our Goat Simulator Remastered from Fish Lab Games. They wanted to remaster the original Goat Simulator and try to sell it to the suckers out there again, because why not? People like Goat Simulator, so they're going to make a remake of Goat Simulator. Persona 3 Reload Expansion Pass. This is where you could fight Joker, apparently. This is an expansion episode where I guess they're bringing the Persona 5 characters into the Persona 3 realm, and you can fight Joker and stuff like that. That seems very interesting. Will I ever get to get into and play Persona 3 Reload? I don't know. I got into the Persona games, like Persona 4 Golden again a little bit, and then I played a little bit of Persona 3 Reload on my Game Pass, because they had that on Game Pass, and I played a little bit of it, but I just never got too far into them again. I fell off of them. I think I got so personaed out with Persona 5 because I just played so much, and there's so many games out there. And I think I might just wait till Persona 6 comes out, or they announce that and come out with that, because I was just like, okay, guys, too much Persona. Too much. I know there's a lot of people that just love Persona, and that's great for them. But for me, I like it, but it comes the time where I gotta just say, okay, too much Persona for me. And there was. This game where there was a lot of hiboob about because it's made in China. Black Myth Wukong from Game Science, because I guess they're a Chinese-backed company or whatever. And in China, they were releasing all this stuff saying do not They didn't want people talking about women's rights and all this other shit. It has a lot of bullshit behind the game. And it's only because the one studio in China, a promotion group was promoting and saying all that stuff. And I guess it got out there and, everybody gets up in arms because why do people get up in arms? They know what China's like. They know what the politics in Chinese culture and what Xi Jinping and everybody over there in China promotes. So why would they be what surprised what publishers or promoters say when they're doing this stuff? The game could be maybe good because I hear it might be good, but I hear all just the backstories of, oh, this is made in China. This is made by these people that don't want women's rights and all this other stuff, and they hate gays and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, bring the politics into the games. You must bring the politics back into the games. A Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero from Namco. There you go, Bandai Namco. There you go, folks. Dragon Ball. There you go. No More Room in Hell 2 from Torn Banner Studios. I wonder what kind of game that's going to be. Infinity Nikki from Infold Games. Okay, this Infinity Nikki game seems okay of what I've seen in the trailer. I don't know anything else about it, but It's like you're this, like, I hate to say it, slutty young girl type wearing weird outfits and going into this open world. That's all I know about it. Infinity Nikki. Warhammer Space Marine 2. There you go. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 from Saber Interactive. You like your Warhammer games. Predecessor from Omeda Studios. Looks like a multiplayer battle shooter game. Okay. Genshin Impact from Yoverse. Okay. Naraka Blade Point from 24 Entertainment. Looks like a ninja fighting game. Okay. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves from SNK. People know their Fatal Fury games. I played some Fatal Fury games. They're pretty cool. Mecha Break from Susan Games. I got a hottie robotic lady in a robot suit, or lady in a robotic suit. Okay. Looking all sexy and stuff. Shooting stuff probably. Monument Valley 3 from Us2 Studios. Is that the one where you build like castles and stuff, or is this let me look at this. Set sail for adventure in Monument Valley 3, a brand new story and award-winning Monument Valley series. Oh, this is a story-based game? Okay, I thought this was something else. Oh, this is a Netflix published game. Okay. Something totally different than I was thinking of. Then we got Civilization. What is this? 7, 5, 6, 7? Yeah, this is Sid Meier's Civilization 7, if I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, it's another Sid Meier's game. A Sid Meier game, 2K game, Civilization game. Civilization games are pretty fun. They're pretty damn fun. I used to be religious in playing them, and then I kind of fell off of the Civilization games for a bit. Then Civilization Revolution came out. That was great. I wish they would go back to that and make another Civ Revolution, because that was great for like Xboxes and handhelds and stuff, but I don't think they're ever going to go back to a Civ Revolution again. But Civ 7, I heard they got some new things in this one, like you can, your hero character, whatever, your hero leader doesn't change, like your whole culture doesn't change throughout the ages. Like it's going to be the same culture, it's just going to advance, and then your leader is going to advance and stuff and still be the same leader going through the ages and stuff, which is kind of interesting what they're doing this time around. But there's always so much going on in these Civilization games, Civ games. It's just crazy how you do it. I got to get back into playing some Civ games. I got a couple Civ games on my Xbox or my PC on Steam. I should really get back into, but we'll see. Starfield, talking about their Shattered Space. Why do they got Starfield twice? They got Starfield, because they announced that the buggy thing. That's why they got Starfield twice on this, because the first Starfield announcement was they got that space buggy now, where you can get a space buggy and you can go driving around the world of Starfield, so you don't have to walk everywhere, because people were complaining that you couldn't drive anything around these planets and whatnot, which it makes sense because you're in space. You should have a space buggy, so they announced that. And is that out now? I'm not going to get into that too much because I'm done playing Starfield. And then Starfield Shattered Space is the expansion for Starfield from a Bethesda. That's that spooky, like horror type of Starfield expansion storyline, like a Dead Space-ish type of storyline. From NetEase Games, Marvel Rivals, another Chinese studio, of course, but Marvel Rivals, people like Marvel characters and they like fighting, so Marvel Rivals, of course, people are going to love that. Age of Mythology Retold, that's like a Sid Meier's Civilization type of game in its own way, where you're building up your cultures and stuff. It's from Microsoft Game Studios. You got gods and pharaohs and stuff like that, and Cleopatra and whatnot. looks interesting. That'll be on Game Pass. Maybe I'll check that out sometime. Towerborn from Stoic. Looks like a battling game. I think you build like tower things. I don't know. Delta Force Hawk Ops from Teamy Studio. Must be a shooter. Looks like a shooter. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 from War Horse Studios. Zenless Zone Zero from Hoi Universe or Yohoverse. Sexy anime lady on top of a vehicle here. Yep, anime type of game. Okay, that's all I need to know. Honkai Star Rail. That's more from Yoverse. Boy, I can't say that for shit. Yeah, the Honkai Star Rail, that's just with lovely ladies, hack and slash with lovely ladies. That's, what is that, like Initial 2, sort of? Let's put that into perspective, but a lot sexier, in a way, and a lot more production in the game, right? Yeah. A lot more of that stuff, a lot of sexiness, a lot of sexy games. But is it out on Xbox? No, it's on a PlayStation, Apple, PC, and Android. But it's not coming out on PlayStation, so that's probably why I'm not playing this game, because it's not on an Xbox. Maybe eventually they'll put it on Xbox for PC or something. I hear a lot of people thought it was good. They even gave it a 9 here on IGN, but can't always trust IGN, right? But I hear a lot of decent things about it. Let's continue on, folks. Batman Arkham Shadow, which is basically a VR game. Batman VR game. Little Nightmares 3 from Supermassive Games. There you go. Some more horror games in a way. This is what basically brought us back Peter Molyneux. If you don't know him, he was the main creator of the game. Old-timely fun favorites is Populous and stuff like that. And what was it? God Hand, stuff like that. And then he created the Fable series, which was a big hit for Microsoft and all that. Created the Fable games and stuff like that. And he loved making those you could be super powerful games where you've been like a god, a floating hand god thing. And basically he's back shooting his shit, shooting his let's just say his falseness of over promising and very much always under delivering on his games and stuff. And he used to be a con artist type of guy. He's Peter Molyneux is a con artist in the games industry. There's a good expose / documentary on him. If you watch the old G4 Icons shows, when they used to do like little documentaries on people, they did a documentary on Peter Molyneux, and he even admitted that he was basically a con artist, talking his way, bullshitting his way through. He didn't even know how to make a video game at first, and then he learned, and then created studios and did all this stuff. And like I said, he overpromises and underdelivers in a lot of his games, but Fable series of games are pretty damn good. Fable games are good. And this from his studio that he's been created for a while now, 22 Cans, which didn't really create much of anything for a while. Masters of Albion is basically something that came out of another project that he was, I guess, currently working on, which was going to have a lot of what did they call it? NFTs and paid stuff. And it was going to be one of those games where it's like pay to play this, do this, NFT, that bullshit. It was going to have a lot of bullshit microtransactions and shit in it. And I guess he revamped it and they revamped it and they rebuilt it and made it to what it doesn't have that stuff in it anymore. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. But it's basically like a big populist thing. You got a big giant hand. Again, you're basically a dismembered floating hand which they showed off over a small medieval-looking village. You can manage tons of stuff in the community, right down to what they eat and stuff like that. You can even make them eat rats, they said. But basically, you're a god, and you get to do all this stuff again. And then you can go, and when you build up this little village, and you build the village bigger and bigger and bigger. There's people on the outside that want to destroy the village and destroy the people, and then you got to fight the other people and the bad people, and then you got to prepare your village for adequate defense, and is important at night because you're being attacked by monsters. At this point, you can either switch to an over-the-shoulder third-person perspective and fight directly as one of your town's champions, or rain down divine fury on the attacking creatures. You can also switch between the two perspectives mid-gameplay. If that's what's going to happen, we'll see. Peter Molyneux doesn't overpromise on that. Molyneux showed his champion getting wiped out, and then went back to the drawing board the next day to train them up in the village. It's available on the Steam wish list with no release date set yet, but yeah, they have not. They did Black and White. He did Populous, stuff like that. He used to head Lionhead Studios back in the day, which then was acquired by Microsoft, and then he created a bunch of stuff, and then he left Lionhead after, when he founded 22 Cans, and then Lionhead Studios basically got shuttered by Microsoft, and yeah, and then they never made another Fable game for a while, and then after that, it's back to, oh yeah, we're going to make a Fable game, but this time we're making it from a racing game company, blah, blah, blah. A lot of stuff went down, but I don't know. A lot of people said Masters of Albion looked kind of boring and stupid, but I don't know. I looked at it, I'm like, it's got potential. It's got some interesting potential. I'd like to be a god of my creation, build it up, and get these people to expand and become badasses to fight monsters that might try to come and destroy the village and stuff, and then I can either rain down my godly fury on these creatures or go in third person and kill them myself. I don't know. That might seem interesting. We'll just have to wait and see what might come out of it. Then we got Squid Game Unleashed, which is a Netflix game, or a Netflix published game. They say a Netflix game, but it's published, probably made by one of Netflix's game studios. I forgot who they purchased back in the day for that. Unknown 9 Awakening from Reflector Entertainment. Don't know nothing about that. Arena Breakout Infinite from More Fun Studios. It looks like another shooter game. Diablo 5's expansion, The Vessel of Hatred from Blizzard. So that's an expansion. The first Berserker, Kazan Neeple from Neeple Games. Okay. Ara History Untold from Oxide Games, if you're into the history stuff. Dark and Darker, which is a mobile, they put in parentheses, it's a mobile game from Crafton Studios. Flotopia from NetEase Studios, which is, of course, Chinese. Street Fighter 6 from Capcom. That is because they had the announcement of, what is his name? Haggard? Bo Haggard? Is that what? They announced some DLC characters. Street Fighter 6 is the most feature-rich of Street Fighter has ever been a launch. Beyond that, its roster 18 characters is excellent. I'm trying to see what they were announcing. Terry. Yeah, Terry's coming. Terry Hogard. I think his last name is Hogard. What else? Terry Bogard. Sorry, Terry Bogard. That's his name. Sorry. I keep screwing up the name on that. M. Bison is coming to that. And that's just expansion stuff from Street Fighter 6. So of course they're going to show that stuff off. And then the other game that they announced on the first part of Gamescom was Revenge of the Savage Planet from Raccoon Logic. And that's all I got out of it. I looked at other stuff. I didn't see too many other things that were interesting to me or interested me in Gamescom. Maybe you might have seen some other stuff if you look out there, but to me it just seemed like, okay, it's just more of the same big stuff, properties and stuff, and nothing from anybody else, you know. But yeah, that's what they announced. That's what we're getting. So why not? I'm not going to complain about that. You know, at least they're showing off some stuff, and you get to see some stuff that might be coming out. So why don't we get into our final part of the show here, where we talk about the news in the games industry. I got a lot of it. We'll see what we get to. I don't know if I'll get to all of it, but we might get to most of this game news. We might get to all of it. I don't know, because we got a lot of it. It's not just Gamescom, but we got other news that happened also from Gamescom. So I shouldn't say it isn't just Gamescom, but we've got news that is coming from Gamescom. But I got nothing more to say. Like I said, folks, Indiana Jones 5 this Friday. I'm going to have, like I said, my first gameplay video, which will go up on Friday. I'll have a live stream of me playing on GameOn live that night on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube or Twitch or at OldFreakyGamer.com. I will be streaming live, Star Wars Outlaws, so be prepared for all that fun. Be prepared for that fun. So why don't we get into the games news here? That is the games news. So the Games Talk Newz is here now.
Locked and loaded, ready for the fight. Game Talk Newz, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
Okay, there we go. That's a little long, and I accidentally turned off the sound. I was turning it up, and I accidentally turned it down a little bit for the music, and I turned it off. Oops. Yeah, so we got a bunch of games news stories here, and then, like I said, this podcast is going on long, like always. But Xbox boss Phil Spencer is explained, because, people out there, they just don't understand how the games business is, and people complain and whine about everything. It's usually just the few out there. Me, I just complain about why we promoting stuff that is not just Xbox, but I didn't say in the talk of Gamescom, but Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is not just coming out on the Xbox and PC. It is also coming out on the PlayStation 5, but the PS5 version of the game is coming out next year, because it's going to be a delayed release for the PS5 version of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle than it is compared to if you want to get it right then and there and on Game Pass or purchasing it on June 9th. On December 9th for Xbox and PC for it. And, of course, Phil Spencer has to explain, which, he's going to only explain the stuff in terms of business because he is a businessman and they got to talk business on this stuff. So, basically, the decision... Okay, here's the thing, people. We all know Microsoft is a corporation. I already talked about this in the start of the show. Shareholders, They got to get those shareholders pleased by making more revenue and justifying what they're spending money on and blah, 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 blah. And they need to grow and grow and grow and grow because that's how shareholders are. And that's why big businesses like Microsoft even suck, because they're all run by shareholders and not by the people that run the place and the people that work there that could make decent products and services. No, it's got to always be growth. It's got to be this and that. And they're doing AI, and AI is going to eventually bottom out, and that's going to suck for them and everybody else, mostly Microsoft, because they're going to put too much time and money into AI. And instead of just focusing on making good stuff, good products, let's make a bunch of other shit. But here's the thing. They got to make money, and the gaming business isn't doing as hot because people are jumping ship from Xbox to PlayStation and stuff like that, and PC. And then it's not looking good for Microsoft because there's still a lot of people out there that are very much, what's the word here? Biased still towards Xbox and Microsoft. So, those European people, the people out there mostly like to play their games on PlayStation instead of Xbox still, because I don't know why. I would tell you it's cheaper, but I can't say that with any good conscience, because Microsoft's been selling expensive stuff and hardware, and they haven't been lowering prices. They've been raising prices like Sony, but yet Sony's still losing money too. But, they'll still harp on, Xbox sucks and blah, 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 blah. There's always a lot of hatred towards Xbox, and I don't know. I don't think it's justified. And as I hear from the actual people, the people out there that actually test out games on multiple consoles and test and do those, what do you call them? Those really in-depth tests where it shows which is played better, which runs better on which system. It's seemingly like a lot of these games run better on Xbox consoles than they do on PlayStation 5 consoles. So, but yet people still say, no, we're going to play on our PlayStations because they're better. Okay, whatever. I say biasness, but that's the world we live in. You might say I'm biased because I'm only playing on Xbox and PC. Well, I'm playing on more than one thing. I'm playing Xbox, PC, and I like to consider the ROG Ally, even though it's a PC, something of its own, a handheld, but people say I'm biased by that, but I'm like, no, I'll play my Switch once in a super great while, and I wouldn't have a PlayStation 5 if it was decent, but they kind of bored me on the PS4 with hardly any good games, and the controller sucks, and same thing with the PS5 being an over-retching, big, crappy-looking device with the same kind of juice-sucking controllers and no real content that I'm interested in to play on the PlayStation 5, because I'll eventually be able to get it on PC via Steam or something down the road whenever the games go down in price. But yeah, there's nothing that Sony is offering that I would want to purchase. So that's my only biasness, is because there's nothing on a PS5 to play. Unlike Xbox, where I got Game Pass, I get all these games, and most of the games come out on both systems anyways. And I have fun playing on my Xbox because I love the controller. It lasts a long time on a charge because I got rechargeable batteries for my Xbox controller. And it lasts a long time. It lasts like at least a week on a charge to play games on my Xbox controller compared to a PlayStation controller nowadays. And like the feel of the Xbox controller. And I just like how the games play. That's the ecosystem I went into. Like I said, if Sony ever got their act back together and it was all about the games and they made some good games again, and they made maybe the original God of War type of games again that I used to like, and they brought back some series of games like the Infamous series or something, maybe I'd go back to PlayStation and play some PlayStation games again. But until that time, if it ever came back or if it's gone forever, I stick with Xbox and PC. And if Xbox gets worse and more expensive, I don't know if I'll even buy the next gen Xbox. But if they can prove to me that it's worth getting, I would get it. But if not, maybe I'll just stick with my Series X Xbox, and I'll just keep going on with PC. Why not? Because Game Pass is on PC, so I could play most of these games on PC, so I'm good. But that's not enough for people. Some people say, oh no, like this Indiana Jones game in the Great Circle, it should only be on Xbox and PC because that's what it's supposed to be on. Why isn't it not an exclusive? Well, here's the thing. First off, when they bought the companies and stuff, it was during the time when this game was already pre-production. There was deals behind the scenes already going on for games like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and it's a business, and they need to make money. And here's another thing. It's coming out first on Xbox and PC, and it's going to be on Game Pass. So basically, Xbox and Microsoft have the number one right there. And then it will eventually come out for sale next year for the PlayStation 5. So, okay, so they're going to make more money off of it. I never had a problem with that. I would have a problem if it came out on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox and PC at the same time and it wasn't on Game Pass or something like that. Then I'd have a little bit of an issue. But because they're making the game and it's coming out for Xbox and PC first and on Game Pass and then eventually going to PlayStation 5 in the next year, 2015, I'm like, okay, they get it eventually, but they got to buy it. It's not going to be out on Game Pass for them or PlayStation Plus. They're got to pay for this game. And if it ever does go on PlayStation Plus, that means Sony's going to be paying Microsoft to get it on PlayStation Plus or something. So it's a win-win for Microsoft, and I have no problem for it. But, Phil Spencer has to go out there and say, hey, Microsoft's decision to launch Machine Games' highly anticipated Xbox game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, on the PlayStation 5 a few months after it launches on Xbox and PC, is because first, it's not really, they say it's a first-party game. It is, but this is made back, this whole deal was made back in the day. And I'm sure Disney would also want this to be on PlayStation 5 because it makes more sense because it makes more money being multi-platform. It's not like Sony with their Spider-Man games where they're not going to put it on ever on an Xbox and they're only going to have it for PC and PlayStation because their greed is stupid in a lot of ways. I don't even think they'll ever release a game for like a Switch. The only game that I know of that Sony has to make for Xbox is the MLB games, which is funny in a way, but that's the only franchise right now that Sony makes games of and goes on to stuff like the Xbox. But that's because the MLB wants more money and they want their game to be played on more systems. So that's always good. That's good talk. So people are complaining about it and how certain games like Sea of Thieves and Grounded and stuff like that and Hi-Fi Rush were going, and id Software's upcoming Doom: The Dark Ages will launch on the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that, or have released on PlayStation 5. And it's like, as long as they were on the Xbox first for me and I played it on Xbox and it was on Game Pass and all that, I have no problem. This is my line. I have no problem them selling those games down the road on the PlayStation 5 down the road if they want to make more money off those games. Now, there's certain games that I would hope they would never put on a PlayStation 5 or whatnot, because these are those key games that are basically cemented into saying that these are Microsoft's first-party major games, would be like the Halo franchise. I would kind of hate it if Microsoft decided to put the next like Halo game or something on the PlayStation or something, or put Gears of War, the next Gears of War, or a future Forza Horizon or Forza title in general on a PlayStation console, because those are basically your main defining games to say, hey, this is an Xbox for a reason, because you're playing Halo, Gears of War, or Forza on this platform. That's why you buy the games on this platform. Now, if you're going to announce those games coming to PlayStation down the road, then it's like, why should anybody get an Xbox unless if you're just like me and you just get your games day one on Game Pass? Now, if they got rid of if they ever got rid of Game Pass, which who knows over at Microsoft nowadays. I like Game Pass a lot. I think it brings a lot of these games day one to us is a great thing. But if they ever got rid of Game Pass and stuff, and then they started putting these games on the PlayStation 5 or whatnot, and just PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox and all that stuff at the same time or even later, I think I'd be like, maybe I'll just play these games on PC and maybe I'll just get a PlayStation to play these games on, because then Sony has some games that you can't get on Xbox. And it's like, well, basically you're making it in a way that you want to drive away your consumer base. So I can understand things like that. But things like Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves and stuff, they're made by Microsoft Studios, but these are studios that Microsoft acquired. These aren't the studios that make your mainstay games. Not that I'm saying Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush and Doom, The Dark Ages aren't worth, keeping over there, but those are games I would let slide. And the same with this Indiana Jones game from Machine Games. Bethesda used to make games for PlayStation and all that, and there was probably a deal going on between them, Sony, and Disney, and then eventually Microsoft taking over Machine Games and Bethesda Softworks and stuff back in the day, that they're like, why not put it multi-platform? I'm sure it was before that, but I don't know. And even if it wasn't, why not? It is a franchise game from Disney, and I'm sure franchise games like from Disney should be on multi-platforms, because it's not a Microsoft created franchise like Halo or Gears. Well, Gears wasn't originally a Microsoft created. No, none of them were originally Microsoft, because even Halo was created originally, was going to be made for like the Apple computer system or something, and then Microsoft saw it and purchased Bungie and took them over, and then they started making Halo for their first Xbox and stuff like that, their launch console. And then Gears of War was originally Epic Games, an Epic Games franchise, and then they were going to eventually put it in multi-platform, and Microsoft's like, why don't you just sell the franchise to us, and then we could just make Gears of War in-house. And that's when it all went to in-house with Microsoft with Gears of War. And then Forza they created, I forgot if it was like its own franchise or what, because they used to have another racing sim game, but then they just got Forza and stuff. A lot of those, but they cemented them into the Xbox brand because they knew those games were going to be their main 3 selling games to sell Xboxes. Now that it feels like it doesn't do that anymore, and now that they feel like they got to sell on other platforms, I don't mind other games, but at least keep a few key franchises in-house for Xbox. I would hope they would do that, because if they started making Halo and stuff for other consoles and stuff, I'd be like, you guys are souring the milk of Xbox, of the name Xbox. And then eventually I'd be like, well, why don't you just dump the whole Xbox name and just say Microsoft Game Studios, or this is from Microsoft Gaming Studios and stuff, and not Xbox Gaming Studios. It's a sad time, but Microsoft kind of did it to themselves, and it all started with back in the day when you had some characters up there running things at Xbox and Microsoft, and they made some very piss poor decisions, and they kind of fucked themselves in the ass when they were riding high off of the 360, and then they fucked it up on the next console, and then the Xbox One, after the Xbox One, then they got the Series consoles, and they confused it a little bit. I understood what they were talking about with the Series consoles, making a cheaper, lighter one for people that wanted something cheaper and then weren't going to use discs and stuff. It would be all digital. And then the Series X would be more powerful and expensive and stuff. But they both are pretty expensive in their own ways. But Microsoft, I think, lost the whole track on what made Xbox great. And I think they got to make a console that could beat all consoles again, just like Nintendo. But yeah, Phil Spencer, I'm not going to read this, but Phil Spencer goes in through the whole... For us as Xbox, the health of Xbox, health of our platform, and our growing games is our most important things. They're like he clearly states, Xbox is a business. And Xbox Series X and S have fallen in sales dramatically, and people are demanding growth in Microsoft and shareholders, of course, and they need more money. So it's only the way it goes when they get a game like one of these, and they pretty much figure that for most of the games that are being made at Bethesda Studios, that they're going to be multi-platform games. And I don't know. Besides Starfield, which is not a multi-platform game, which I think they should make it a multi-platform game, because that wasn't doing as big numbers as they thought it would. But I don't know. It's going to be hard to see them. And if they keep like I said, if they keep going down this road, why don't they just say, hey, screw the Xbox. We'll still create Xboxes if people really want them. We'll make them smaller and cheaper and make them less powerful. But if people want them, they can get them. But what they should really do at Microsoft, just say, hands down, hey, we're just going to be a publisher. We're going to be one massive game studio, publishing studio house, like a EA, like a 2K or something now. And we're just going to sell games for everybody. For PC, we'll still have our PC Game Pass and all that stuff, but then we'll have stuff like Sony's platforms and other stuff in the cloud and all that, and we'll sell the game as many places as possible. So it's just not Xbox anymore. It'll suck, but I don't know. A lot of the people that used to be there are not there anymore, and a lot of the people that made Xbox, the brand, as great as it is, kind of, they're gone, and the people are struggling now to keep Xbox good, keeping Xbox good and all that stuff, and it's just not like it used to be. Nothing's like it used to be. And like I said, this is not just Microsoft. Sony's is going through the same thing. Their PlayStation brand is not going to be that strong going forward because even they're slowing down in the count. They sold way more consoles than Microsoft, but they're not selling as many consoles as they used to, like on the PlayStation 2 and 4 days. So they're not doing well either. And they got to figure out, what do we got to do inside of Sony to keep gamers coming back to these games? They got to make some great original games and IPs there, and it seems like they're kicking the rocks down the road too over at Sony. At least Microsoft has all these extra game studios. Sony has not many game studios, and the ones they do have, like Bungie, are getting tons of layoffs, and things aren't seeming like they're going too well. And then they try to release games these multiplayer games that people are not wanting, and it's just like, But then you got Nintendo, who is making tons of bank still as of today, which will be releasing a brand new console with a brand new slew of hardware, software, first-party software from their own studios, and they're going to ride high because they understand it's not the most graphically intense console. It's not the most expensive console out there, but it's a console what people would want, at a price that people will be willing to pay for outside of PC gamers. Hi-Fi Rush IP and Tango Gameworks was acquired by Krafton from Xbox Studios. And the studio will no longer be shut down, but not everybody's still at Tango Gameworks, I hear. So they only got I don't know, was it like half the people at Tango Gameworks or whatever. But apparently, PUBG publisher Krafton has acquired Tango Gameworks and the Hi-Fi Rush IP from Xbox. So basically, Hi-Fi Rush is going to be still going forward multi-platform because Microsoft didn't make Hi-Fi Rush as a multi-platform game down the road. They did put it for PlayStation, right? Is it out? It is out for PlayStation, right? Like I said, I do not know the world of Sony PlayStation anymore because I just don't, there's nothing that they don't really have except for probably Final Fantasy and some other small IPs that Microsoft doesn't get, and Sony tries to pay to keep in the house for games, where they pay to get the games only on a PlayStation console. But Hi-Fi Rush is on a PlayStation, and but yeah, that's good. At least the studio won't be shutting down. It's no longer owned by Microsoft. PUBG owns it now, and they got to keep the Hi-Fi Rush IP. It kind of sucks because that might mean that Hi-Fi Rush going forward, whenever they decide to make the sequel and put it out, might not be a Game Pass game, or it might be a Game Pass game. I don't know. Maybe Microsoft will get first dibs on getting Hi-Fi Rush 2 as a Game Pass game going forward. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. If it does, that'd be pretty cool, because I liked Hi-Fi Rush. I was surprised on how much I liked Hi-Fi Rush, and that was a decent game. But Microsoft gets to keep all the other IPs, I guess, as well. But Krafton shared news in a press release confirming that as part of the strategic agreement, Krafton intends to collaborate with Xbox and ZeniMax to ensure a smooth transition and maintain continuity at Tango Gameworks, allowing the talented team, what is left of the talented team, to continue developing the Hi-Fi Rush IP and explore future projects. Krafton intends to support Tango Gameworks team to continue its commitment to innovation and delivering fresh and exciting experiences for fans. And the press release continues, there will be no impact on existing game catalogs. What Tango Gameworks worked on before, which was the Evil Within games, Ghostwire Tokyo, and the original Hi-Fi Rush game. But going forward, they will be doing some stuff with the sequel Hi-Fi Rush. But I guess all those original games will still be like Microsoft-owned games for now. Just like how, what was that Insomniac game? Oh, man, I keep forgetting when I want to bring it up. I always forget the name. But there was the one that when Insomniac Games made the game for them, and then Sony purchased Insomniac Games, and yeah. I always forget the name of the game, and it was a great game too, and my brain sucks. Let's just say that. But hey, at least Tango Gameworks is still going to be around. At least we'll see a Hi-Fi Rush 2 in what form or way it will be. I'd like to see what will happen in a sequel, and maybe it'll come to Game Pass, maybe it won't. We'll see. 2K CEO Strauss Zelnick, CEO of 2K Interactive, he is one of those shareholder people I warn you about all the time. He's the big boss of 2K. He doesn't like Game Pass. He never did. And he still thinks it's irrational to release games day one on Xbox Game Pass. Because, he's like, well, where's all the money coming from? Well, if you've got a subscription service and you're providing games for the subscription service, people will keep subscribing like me to the subscription service. So you're still making money, but he thinks, well, it's not enough money, and he doesn't believe in releasing day one games to a service like that, and he thinks it's not a popular move what Microsoft has done. So he's still saying the idea is irrational. Even though 2K has added popular games such as Grand Theft Auto 5 to Xbox Game Pass before, but don't forget, Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for how long now? So, of course, he would add GTA 5 to Game Pass for a while and stuff. But it never did it for any other game release, that was for sure. And I think Microsoft actually paid to have GTA 5 on Game Pass for a little while. And then after Microsoft said that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 would be a Game Pass day one title as well, then, I'm just trying to read this stupid article here. So Take-Two Interactive's Strauss Zelnick told GameIndustry.biz that the publisher's stance on releasing major titles on subscription services at launch has not changed because, of course, he'll make more money if he just sells them outright like GTA 6, and he doesn't want to promise anything like that to people saying, well, if we start releasing these games on Game Pass, then they're going to expect all our games to be on Game Pass someday, and then we're just going to lose money because everybody's going to wait till it goes on Game Pass, or if it comes out on Game Pass, people aren't going to want to buy our game. So he's thinking the bottom line right at the start. He's like, no, something like Grand Theft Auto 6 won't be on Game Pass. But could Microsoft pay enough money to get Grand Theft Auto 6 on Game Pass day one? I don't know. But people are saying it's unlikely. It's very unlikely that Microsoft would pay that much money to Take-Two to have GTA 6 on Game Pass day one, and Take-Two would lose by putting eagerly anticipated titles like that on Game Pass day one because people would think, oh, every game is going to be on Game Pass. See, because that's the basic, what should I say, strategy / risk that Xbox and Phil Spencer and them took over there at Microsoft's Xbox to try put out this Game Pass to get people to be interested in buying games eventually, or buying DLC for these games from Game Pass and still making money off of it and selling subscriptions to Game Pass. I don't know. I like the whole Game Pass thing. I think it's, like I said, Game Pass for me saves me a fortune in games, especially with games being $70 mostly out there or whatnot. Getting my games day one on Game Pass, especially for main titles from Microsoft and Microsoft's game studios. Sometimes you get third-party studios games on Game Pass well on day one or soon enough that it's well worth the money, or even down the road. I like that because it's like, well, that's one less game for me to have to purchase or pay more money for. I can play the game. If I don't like the game and I uninstall it, I'm not losing anything out of that deal. I'm just like, I feel even better for that because at least I got to try the game. And if I didn't care for the game, like if I decided to download that Mafia game, the remastered edition of the Mafia game, and I decided I didn't like it, deleting it isn't going to cause me any stress because it's like I didn't pay $31.99 for it. I didn't pay that amount of money to buy the game. I got it under my subscription. So it just helps me out because it's like it saves me $32 or whatever tax would be. So I'm good. So I think Game Pass is a great thing for me because, like I said, I got Game Pass Ultimate. I'm going to be spending the $20 a month for it. Plus, going forward, I don't care because it's good. It's still good at $20 right now. I'm getting my day one games. I'm going to be playing my Indiana Jones games. I'm going to be playing my Forza, Halo, and Gears of War games on it. I'm going to get all these other games that will eventually come to Game Pass, these great titles. And I'm going to save a bunch of money. I'm not going to have to buy a lot of them. You know, maybe some games I'll be able to buy some in-game content for because they'll be interesting enough for me to do so. And I'll be able to play most of these games on my PC, Xbox, and ROG Ally. So that's 3 devices I can play these games on. For me, it's a win-win. It's a win-win scenario. You know, it's because I can't earn that many Microsoft reward points to save money on all my games to purchase. You know, so to me, it's a win-win because I save money. I know how to utilize Game Pass. There's a lot of people out there that don't play as many games as me and that focus on certain games and certain franchises, and they just boot up their console for like one game or something, like a Madden or something, or a Forza or something, or a Fight Night, which they don't make really anymore. So, but I know those people. And I'm like, don't you play any other games? I try some other games, but it's mostly Fight Night. That's one of my friends. He just plays Fight Night all the time. He loves Fight Night. That's the only thing he plays. It's like, okay, I like to try out other things too. Sure, I like to play my Grand Theft Autos and Skyrims and all that all the time, but sometimes I like to play other things. But that's just me. So in other game news, Microsoft announced when the the new. Wake up, Mr. Mike. It's hard because I'm reading these extra titles and stuff on my note sheet here, and it's all crazy. So Microsoft's white Xbox Series X and 2 terabyte special edition models are coming. Models are launching in October. So that's when these are announced to be launching. Microsoft is launching 3 new Xbox Series X and S console options in October. There's a I'm just going to say $450. I know it's $449.99, but $450 basically white discless Xbox Series X, a 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition Series X priced at $600. So you got your discless Series X at $450. So maybe that's what they didn't say how many. I think it's maybe a 1 terabyte. They didn't say how many terabytes. I think it's a 1 terabyte though. But then they got the 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition Series X priced at $600. So you're spending. They want $600 for a Series X. Okay, and $350 for a 1 terabyte Series S. All 3 models will be available in the U.S. on October 15th and other markets to follow on October 29th. And they talk about a little bit more for the other stuff, like the new white coating exterior of the new discless Xbox Series X matches the robot white found on the Series S. Microsoft's smaller $299 console, which is $299, not $349, but that's only because the $299 Series S is only 512 gigabyte memory in that. Like they only have 512 gigabytes in that one. So they're bumping it up to a terabyte, which the price goes up dramatically on that to $349. That's expensive. So they're taking pre-orders on all 3 of these consoles. The Series X one, the one that's the discless Series X, the 2 terabyte. The 1 terabyte discless Series X for $449, and then the 2 terabyte for $600. You got to be pretty freaking crazy to get a 2 terabyte, and people will. They'll get the Galaxy Black Special Edition Series X. People will spend maybe $600 on it. Very few. Even I wouldn't want to spend $600 on a 2 terabyte Galaxy Series. Like I got the original. I think mine's a 1 terabyte. My Series X. I keep forgetting if it's a terabyte or if it's a 512. I don't know. I got the original Series X. Whatever came in the original Series X in memory. I have an external hard drive attached to that. If I don't play certain main games on my Series X, I just transfer those games over to I click on a button, I say transfer this whole game, move this whole game to this external drive. I know I can't play it off that external drive, but that's what I do. And then down the road, if I want to play it and I don't have to download it from the internet again, I just move it on back over from that external hard drive onto my Series X, and then it's back there to play. Or if it needs to be updated, it'll be there to be updated. I think it can be updated on the external as well, but I have no problems with storage capacity. I was originally going to want to buy like one of those 1 or 2 terabyte memory units for the Series X and S cards, but I decided against it because I'm like, why? My external hard drive is just fine. I have no problems with space on my Series console. You know, I already got Star Wars Outlaws pre-installed on it, so why would I need to get an extra hard drive? Why would I need to spend $300, $400, $500 on a new Xbox console? No, I think they're just overpricing these things. And I know Sony's been doing the same thing sort of, but Microsoft, these prices have to go down. And I know you guys keep saying prices can't go down, but there's got to be a way that prices can go down. If you want to sell, And that's what Microsoft's got to think about. That's what Xbox and Phil Spencer and everybody that's a part of this division's got to kick themselves in the ass, and they got to do it this next time if they're going to release, or not if, but when they release their next gen console. And if it's like the console hybrid thing that I was talking about, like if they're going to go the way of the Nintendo and do a console handheld hybrid or something the next generation or whatnot, which I don't know if they would ever do that, but they should, because that would be a smart thing to do on their part, because then it would at least keep them separate from what Sony's doing. You know, sure, put them in the area of what Nintendo's doing, but they're still their own thing, and they still can do that stuff. But what Microsoft should do, they got to take a hit on the next console. They got to say, hey, this is going to be a powerful, and even if it's not the most powerful console, say, hey, this console is powerful enough to do 4K for movies and stuff. You can run your games at 1080p, 60 frames, you know, do that basic stuff. We're get rid of the disk drive altogether. Don't even have a disk drive. Just make it all digital. Just one console, all digital. Have it so we can put in our own hard drives, solid state drives into it. Sure, you could put some memory on the thing. You could put like a terabyte onto the SoC chip itself, and then let us put in our own hard drive, M.2 drives into the unit, just like Sony lets you do. We could pop in up to an 8 terabyte M.2 drive into those things. Let us put our own, not some proprietary memory. Still have the slot on the back, though, so if people want to use their Series X and S memory units, they can still do that. But let us put in our own memory, our own drive, and then you can launch the console, launch it at $299 or something. Say, hey, this is the brand new Xbox. It's going to be only $299. That is it. And it's the only one. It's going to be great. It's revamped controller. You can have Holo Effects sticks on that controller. Do special feedback. What do they call it? What was it? Advanced feedback controls and stuff onto it. Do what you want to make the controller better. Just make it a good overall experience. Make the dashboard, the menu system really fly. Bring back the blades or something again, or make it so people can change it to what they want it to be. They can have it like I do. We can have our pins. We can customize the dashboard or the way we want it, or you can have it the blades and be able to customize how the blades work. You know, make it so people could be like, ooh, we can make this Xbox our own, and it's only for $299.99, and we're gonna have like at least four major titles come out at launch. Make a Forza game, make either a Halo or a Gears game at launch for it, and whatever else you can come up with if you want to get some third party to pay for their game to come day one. And, you know, package it all up, put on like a year of Game Pass Ultimate onto it or something, or Xbox Game Pass onto it or whatever for a year on it, and sell it for $299. Those things will fly off the shelves like in no time. Get a new Vision camera or something so you can speak to it and whatnot again, because I'd like that. But make it really fun. Make it really cheap. Make it really small or smallish. And then you'll start selling Xboxes again everywhere, even in Japan, I think. You know, get some big franchises on board. You know, get Square Enix to publish some Final Fantasy games onto the next Xbox. You know, whatever. I can see that. But when will they do that? Will Microsoft and Xbox division do that? I don't know. I don't think they will, because, like I said, it's all controlled by the money-hungry, grubbing people over on the top, the people that are shareholders, and it's not run by the company executives, it's not run by the CEO, it's not run by any of them, because they're beholden on their shareholders. And like I always say, every company that has shareholders runs like shit because they're bound to make those people money and not to be creative, not to make a great business. And then shareholders, when they make more money, then the shareholders get that eventually. No, it's the other way around. You either make the money or you go away. And it's a crude business, and I hate it when companies go and have all these shareholders and are in open public companies. If I ever started a company, something like that, I'd make sure it's private instead of an open company. I know it's a lot harder when you need extra funds to fund the place, but if you do it right and you put a lot of passion into it, you could probably do way better than these shareholding companies. And trust me, I work for a shareholders type of a company, and they're not doing so hot right now. They're doing really bad, really bad. And hey, it's their own fault because they're money, greedy, hungry people. But that's the way we live. We live in a financial world where everybody needs money. So there you have it. Also in Microsoft, talking about is now in the handheld gaming PC race. And Valve is getting ready to capitalize on its impressive SteamOS work. Because Valve announced that they were working on their SteamOS to work on other devices like the ROG Ally and the MSI Legion, is that what it is? The MSI one and the Legion, stuff like that. Those Windows-based handhelds, and Valve is like, oh, we're trying to maybe make our SteamOS available so people can put that on those devices and use our SteamOS just for those, and not just on our own Steam Deck and stuff like that, because they're thinking to expand that in the handheld gaming market. And it's like, okay, that's good if people want to do that. I'll stick with my Windows-based software, and I hope Asus and all the rest of them are listening, at least Asus, because that's what I like right now. I love my ROG Ally. If they were to go and just use the free open source SteamOS going forward, that would make me not want to maybe buy the next ROG Ally if they went forward and did that instead of just putting Windows on it. I know a lot of people don't like Windows, but that's what this was kind of built on, and I think it works perfectly fine on my ROG Allies using Windows 11, and Microsoft could do a better job making the next version of Windows OS to work 1,000 times better, or make a version of Windows OS just for handhelds, that it's not all just this and this and this and a bunch of stuff that we don't need on them, and it's just for gaming handhelds. And they can still make money off of that, just putting the Microsoft Store on there and stuff like that, and getting a cut of something or other. But I would probably think otherwise to buy a ROG Ally going farther, or any portable gaming device in the future, if it was just SteamOS down the road. Because like I said, having Windows operating system on my handheld, I got way more possibilities. I can play Steam games on there. I play my Windows-based games. I can run my emulation games on there, my emulators right now. It's everything on one device right now. It's right now, as I kept on playing with it, I kept on tuning it. I know that's a lot of stuff that a lot of gamers don't want to do, but for somebody like me that's in the PC space as well, in the gaming PC space, and just in the PC space as general, because I love working on computers and messing around with stuff, I'm used to messing around with stuff like that. And now my ROG Ally runs perfectly with all the software that I put on. New games, I put in emulators, and I play all these emulators on it now. I have a ball with all that stuff, because it's like, ooh, this is my all-in-one handheld device, and it provides me with the fun that I want out of my handheld gaming device, and not just something that only works with one type of operating system, or not one type of set of games from one company. Now, Microsoft thinks they want to make their own Xbox handheld, which I'm saying, Microsoft, if you're going to go and make an Xbox handheld, you should just do what Nintendo does and make an Xbox handheld hybrid, where it's a handheld and a gaming machine all in one, just like Nintendo. That would look a lot better for Microsoft. And two, which I can see is a harder sell and a harder thing to swallow, which I'm sure they wouldn't do, but have it opened up so people could put their PC games or whatever emulation and stuff on there. If it's running Windows on the next, a pure version of Windows on the next operating system, which I think it is on the Xbox Series consoles. I think it's running a version of Windows underneath the hood anyways, but more so for the next console, then they can open it up to have different stores on there, like Steam store, and play other things and put emulators on there. But I don't know if they really want to do that because they want to keep people in the Xbox ecosystem. But then again, Microsoft is selling their stuff on all sorts of platforms like Steam, and they're doing PlayStation, and they'll sell on anything that'll have it on there. So maybe they will open it. I don't know. But that's something they should do, and they should put it at an affordable price. But we'll have to wait and see to see what Microsoft wants to do with anything that's a Xbox portable handheld system. Will they actually come out with it, or are they just talking out of their asses about it? I don't know. Gotta wait and see. But I do like the future of portable gaming handheld devices. I'm just more on the PC side of that stuff. We're going to have to rush through the rest of this stuff because this is already turning out to be a 3-hour podcast, folks. And I knew it was going to get to be 3 hours because there was just so much stuff to talk about. Gamescom, we got all these news stories. But I'll rush through this next one. We don't have to get into too much specifics, but Bethesda boss Todd Howard is the only gamer on the planet right now that has 1,000-point achievement with this 1,000-point achievement, and years after Xbox gifted it to him. So we now know what it says. So back in September of 2020, Xbox gave Bethesda studio head Todd Howard a game made just for him to celebrate his 2016 GDC Lifetime Achievement Award. Simply running the game unlocked an Xbox achievement called Lifetime, worth 1,000 gamer score, which I'm sure Todd Howard, he might play some games, but I doubt he cares about achievements at all. I'm pretty sure he's a guy that does not care about achievements. But he's got a Lifetime Achievement Award worth 1,000 gamer score. And the description states, I guess, here. So the Xbox achievement reads, reflects on the amazing craft of Todd Howard and his team in making worlds as real as any on Earth. So that's what the achievement reads. And it's the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I think that's pretty cool. Even though Todd Howard has kind of strayed away with Starfield a little bit on what he does, or not really. He does what he does. And like I always say to people, I'm like, if you're going to play a game like that, you know what Todd Howard is going to bring to the table. Now, Starfield did seem a little empty. Maybe you should have filled it up a little bit more with more alien breed, put some aliens, creatures out there, maybe filled up some of these planets with some other stuff, did some other things on the side. Maybe people would have liked Starfield better, but overall it was a Bethesda Starfield Todd Howard game. So I hope, and we all hope and pray that the next Elder Scrolls game will surpass what Skyrim did back in the day. Even though back in the day for Skyrim, oh boy, still going strong to the day. Like I said, I'm playing Skyrim right now and I'm still having fun, so why not? But that's something. I'm hoping the next Elder Scrolls will be really good. Obsidian CEO would love to make another Fallout, but there's another Xbox IP he'd like a crack at. And basically, Xbox IP that CEO Fergus Urquhart stated, he's the CEO of Obsidian Entertainment. He says he would like to let's see here. He would like to see Shadowrun. Yes, he loves Shadowrun. He'd like to see something like a new Shadowrun IP. That's what he would like to make, I guess. So not something that is like Fallout, but something that's like Shadowrun. I never played Shadowrun. I think it had some fun people that liked it. I never knew much about it, but I guess that's something he wants to make. Supplier hints at Nintendo Switch 2 mass production timeframe. So basically, they said a Taiwanese parts supplier suggested, which I'm sure maybe they got some parts that are going to be heading to the Nintendo Switch 2. They stated that Switch 2 mass production will begin no later than September 2024 of this year. So this September, they'll probably start making and ramping up production of Switch 2s. He says, taking this at face value, this time frame potentially helps narrow down the announcement window of Nintendo's next console, which I think will be next year sometime. It could be, like I said, after the holidays and stuff, after what they sell this holiday season. I think, I don't know, February, March or something. They might announce the next Switch and when it's going to be released next year. They're saying here, they're saying they're predicting no later than March 2025. That's what I would say. And then it would probably hit. They're saying it probably much anticipated device will not hit the store shelves before April 2025 at the very earliest. I think I think that will come out around September through November, I should say, time period when the Switch 2 will release. That's when I think the Switch 2 will release, like around September to November of next year, of 2025. That's when I believe it'll release. But being started manufacturing on it and big supplies and stuff starting this September, that makes sense. Because by the time they release it by next September, the following September or November, they'll have so many Switch 2s out in production or out in warehouses that, yeah, that can make a lot of sense. They can make a lot of Switches by then. Or Switch 2s, I should say, by then. I could see that before starting to stockpile it. So we'll see. Like I said, I probably won't get the first Switch 2. I'll wait. I'll see what they announce. I'll probably get all happy and joyful when they announce the Switch 2 and they show off what the Switch 2 looks like and what it's supposedly going to be capable of, and performance-wise. And then, like I said, it'll probably come with a regular LCD screen, and then I'll get the next one when it comes out with an OLED screen. Because right now, I don't really play my Switch much, like I said. And two, if the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible with Switch software, then I don't have to really worry anyways whenever I got to get in. And then I'll wait till the Switch 2 has an abundance amount of software of titles to buy and play, and then that's when I'll go out and get that stuff. So that's my thinking on that. You know, it might change by that time. By that time, you never know. I might be like, hey, Mr. Mike, oh, wait, I just purchased the Switch 2 because I got no, what should I say? I got no, trying to think of what to say here. Yes, I got no self-control. That's what I got none of. That's why I would buy a Switch 2 right away, because I would have no self-control. But otherwise, I will wait. But it will be interesting if that's true, if they're gonna have the Switch 2 start production this September sometime, and then announce it before, like, around March-ish or something next year. Like I said, they're going to want to wait to announce anything or show off the Switch 2 in any way, shape, or form until after the holidays, because they want people to get suckered in to buy those remaining Switches and the new collector's edition Switches that they got coming out at the end of this holiday season. They want to get all those out and sold. So when they sell out all that and sell out a bunch of software, then they can be like, okay, this year we got a new Switch coming out. Switch 2, whatever it is, Super Switch. Here's all the games for this. It'll be backwards compatible with all your original Switch titles. It's going to be more powerful, blah, 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 blah. And then people are going to go, woo, okay, we'll buy this one now. Like like I said, I still have my original Switch since launch. So that's like, what, almost 10 years? It's been a while since the Switch, right? Has it been 10 years? When did the original Switch come out? I forgot. It's been a while. I owned that Switch since day one when it came out. I still remember when I first got that Switch. I loved it. It was something extraordinary. And then I played, it wasn't just Mario. I bought that Legend of Zelda game because when I heard that the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was going to mostly be like a Skyrim type of game, I was like, ooh, okay. And I didn't really care about Zelda or any of the Zelda games. And I'm like, but this one's going to be open world. It looks cool. And I'm like, this will get me to play Zelda. And sure enough, it did. And I played many of hours playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on that system. Many. Me and my friend, we play that. We play a bunch of other games. It's a great little system. Now, sadly, it just sits there on my home console out in the living room, and I barely pick it up and play it. I do plan on playing some games on it soon. Like, I want to play, I want to boot up The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom and stuff on it, and maybe play a few other things. Definitely when, like I said, when the next Mario Party Jamboree, when Mario Party Jamboree comes out, I'm definitely going to get that and play that by myself. But still, I'm going to play it because I'm very excited about that. And I think there was a few other games from there, but mostly it's going to be, that. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, Nintendo knows how to make a console. They know how to make money. They have their slips too. Like I said, they had their Wii U, but then they got out of that slip and they came out with the Switch and it came out perfectly. So Nintendo, like I said, the Apple of the video game market. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop will be releasing sooner than expected. It was not first announced back in July of 2022 when that it was going to be released in 2023 release window to celebrate the original game's 10th anniversary. Now it's 2024. Let's see here. It's going to be released. I don't have the date on here. Where's my date? Excuse me for this, folks. It's coming out soon. Oh, boy, I got to look this up. Lollipop Chainsaw. Repop. There we go. Release date. Release date. Release date. Release date. Wow. Google, why are you sucking? You used to be awesome. When I looked up stuff on Google, it used to be awesome. And they would always have everything right there on the website. And now Google doesn't have any of these dates up here. Okay. Release date. There we go. So it's coming out Thursday, September 12th this year. Okay. So it has been brought forward by 2 weeks. Like I said, I don't know why my notes didn't show that. Why it was out of these notes, I don't know. Sorry. That's bad me for not re-looking at my game news notes. But yeah, it's coming out earlier by a couple weeks. And on September 12th. So I guess this time around, the players, Juliet Starling, that's what her name is. Yes, Juliet Starling. Okay, so it was Juliet. Did I say Juliet when I was saying about her collector's edition as the cheerleader? Okay, Juliet Starling. You can choose from 4 different voice actors for the protagonist of Juliet Starling. So she's now being voiced by Yukari Tamara in addition to Tara Strong, the original English voice actress, and a Japanese voice actress, Eri Kitariyama. Kitamura and Yoko Hisaka. Additionally, Yoshimi Yasuda has confirmed the remaster will incorporate a variety of quality of life improvements and enhancements, aiming to refining the gameplay experience. Yes, so, and it's coming on across several platforms, including Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch. But yeah, it's going to be, I'm going to get that eventually. I'm going to wait till it's out a little bit maybe, because it's coming out at a time where I'm going to be playing a bunch of other games. So I don't know if I want to spend $50 on a Lollipop Chainsaw right away. But we'll see. You never know. I might change my mind. But, yep, coming out 2 weeks earlier, September. So get ready to play some Lollipop Chainsaw. Let's see. Anything else? Okay, there's finally a release date for the PS4, Xbox One versions of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is finally coming out because there's a bigger install base for the PS4, Xbox One gamers out there compared to Series X or Xbox Series or PlayStation 5 console people. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor will be available starting September 17th. As EA CEO Andrew Wilson announced late in August in an earnings call that it'll be coming out and that it was still in development. Both versions will retail for $50, which is cool. If you don't want to spend $70, you're saving some money on these on Star Wars Jedi Survivor on your last-gen consoles. So there you go. Why not? It's going to be interesting on how it performs on those last-gen consoles because originally they were like, it wasn't working. They even saying in this article that it had some performance issues on the PC mainly version of Jedi Survivor and some console issues as well. But hey, they want to make money off of Jedi Survivor, and why not? Why not put them on last-gen systems, you know? I don't really need to talk about Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. They removed the erotica genre from the photography minigame in the game, so you don't get any PP points by taking pictures of zombie lady butts and stuff like that and weird compromised positions. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is out in September 19th digitally or November 8th if you prefer to obtain a digital September 19th digitally or November 8th if you prefer to obtain they meant physical copy. So November 8th for the physical copy, September 19th for the digital copy of Dead Rising Deluxe. So that's another game coming out in September. That's probably why Lollipop Chainsaw is also coming out a little bit earlier because Dead Rising Remaster is coming out September 19th, which I am planning maybe to get it. That's another game, like I said, coming out in a sea of games that I should maybe wait a little bit on before buying it and playing it, but it depends. It depends how my budget is. If I got the budget, maybe I'll download and play that. Same with Lollipop Chainsaw, but otherwise I should probably just wait because there'll be sales on them and stuff, and maybe they might come to Game Pass. We don't know, but maybe. It depends. I have not decided on either one of those games yet because, like I said, there's other games. There's a lot of other games coming out. And I think this is the final news. And I got through the news. I'm already at 3 hours. But Amazon Games Studios boss, because Amazon is also in the games making business, sort of. Boss says label will put games on Nintendo Switch 2, praises Switch as a great device. I think they're just saying that because they just want to get buddy-buddy with Nintendo, but okay, maybe they want to put games in there because they know that they can sell their cheapo games on that device, maybe because the Switch 2 might be more powerful and they'll be able to put their games on it. I don't know. But apparently Amazon wants to put their video games, which they don't have many of. What did they got here? Like The Lost World, Lost Ark have mainly PC. Amazon games will be so while Amazon games will be releasing Throne and Liberty on console this fall, it will be supported in the PS5, Series X and S, and PC. It does say that they want to eventually put games on the next Switch down the road. He says they're doing great things. People are making great things and stuff for the Switch on that platform. I think they're just saying that because they know people can put out these little crappy indie games on the Switch in the Switch games store, and people are buying it. A lot of people are buying those games. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people buy or sell these so-called shovelware games on the Switch, and they make money off of them because Nintendo's allowing, I guess they got the floodgates open for those games for the Switch. So, I don't know. Why not? I guess. And then now Amazon wants to capitalize on it because they want to make some money somewhere. I don't even consider Amazon a game studio. The only game that they're making that they're supporting and making they have their hand in Tomb Raider, right? They have their hand in the next Tomb Raider game, right? Amazon, or am I thinking differently on that? They have something with. Is Amazon? Let me recheck this. Amazon games making Tomb Raider. No, I said enter. Yes. Okay. Amazon Games and Crystal Dynamics. That they're both working on developing and making the next multi-platform Tomb Raider game. Okay, so they are working on the next Tomb Raider game with Crystal Dynamics. So, yes, Amazon is in the Tomb Raider business. And, okay, so I could see them wanting to at least put that out on a next-gen Switch and the next consoles and stuff. So, yes, I can understand that. So, yeah, there's all the games news. Boy, this podcast has been long. I hope it's not too boring for you guys, but if you like to listen to all my rants and talks and games news talks and stuff like that, hey, shit. That's what this podcast is. Like I said, it just costs me some time to talk about stuff. Boy, oh boy. I always say, I always want to try to slim down my podcast, but then they seem to grow and grow and grow. Shit. When will be the time where I have like a 6-hour damn podcast? I don't know. That's why my throat is so right now. That's why you're hearing the scratchiness in my throat and me going because it's just getting so dry right now because I just talk too much. So that's when I say we got to end this podcast. And maybe someday in the future, I know I always say I'm going to do this, but maybe someday I will try to chop down the amount of stuff I talk about and the content that I talk about in my podcasts and make it smaller, like a lot of other video game podcasts are able to do. I don't. Anywho, folks, like I said, when this podcast comes out, which is this Monday, which is when you're listening to this and watching this on YouTube or listening to this on your podcast app players and stuff like that, this Friday will be Star Wars Outlaw Day. I will be doing my first gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws on that day. I will be having my GameOn stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Twitch.tv, and of course, OldFreakyGamer.com. And then if you want to know where I'm at on YouTube and Twitch, just type in the search boxes Old Freaky Gamer. You'll find me right away. Subscribe, watch, enjoy, see what Star Wars Outlaws is going to be like from a person like me that plays it. But definitely check that out Friday. Unless if I lose power or something in the house, which could possibly happen. You know, my electric company, NICEC, they suck. Could be a storm that week. You never know. But I do plan on doing Star Wars. It's going to be Star Wars Day that Friday. I do plan on celebrating it, Star Wars Outlaws Day for that whole day. So I'll be putting out some stuff. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I got a Twitter account or X account, Twitter X account, just at OldFreakyGamer. You want to email me? Comments, questions, anything at all? Maybe you got some advice on how I can make this damn podcast a little smaller. Maybe you'll say, let's talk less games or something. I don't know. Let me know. Give me your feedback. I always like that stuff. Let me know and ask questions, whatever. OldFreakyGamer@gmail.com. That's OldFreakyGamer@gmail.com. And you can find out all that stuff and more at OldFreakyGamer.com. That's my website. That's where I'm at. That's where you can see the schedule and download the podcasts, watch the videos, and so much more. OldFreakyGamer.com. A free website, just like my YouTube channel. All free. Subscribe. Enjoy. And until next time, folks, I think it's time to quit this podcast. Thanks again. I will be definitely having a Let's Play go up this Wednesday. I forgot what it was, but there's a new Let's Play this Wednesday after this podcast. Wednesday, new Let's Play. Friday, Star Wars content. So much gaming. So much fun. Thanks again. I'm Mr. Mike. This has been a great time. Time to kick it off saying game on, game hard. World Conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button. This show, it's damn well game over. So everybody, game over and game on forever. Hell yeah. Let's pump up that music. Is it working? Yep.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.